what we created? Where have we started? Did I lose my mind? I'm up against a wall, on the edge, seconds till I fall. I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning from within. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as we fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as we fall, spinning faster. Hands up as we fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as we fall, spinning faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals matchup of ESEA Advanced Season 55. For the European region, we got Wildcard Academy taking on Old Boys. This is going to be a best of 5, so strap in for a long series. Now that long series gets a little bit complicated here because it is a best of 5, but we might only see 2 maps with a maximum of 4, and that's because Wildcard Academy kind of walked their way through the upper bracket, making it into the finals, where Old Boys they got relegated down to the lower bracket. So Wildcard Academy gets a map to the good. So this best of 5 is actually 4 maps. Wildcard need 2 to take this home, and Old Boys, they need 3. Now these two teams have met before. They met in the regular season of season 55. And Old Boys, they were able to take that best of 1 quite easily. It was over on Train, confirming with my notes, it was a 13-4. Wildcard Academy got blown out. They did see each other again in the upper bracket finals of ESEA Advanced Season 55 playoffs. The match of Wildcard Academy won to get into this position, and they absolutely wrecked the Old Boys. 13-7 on Ancient and 13-3 on Nuke. Now, my name is Mr. Henry Batt. I'm going to be your caster, producer, observer, everything for this best of 5 today. And the servers are starting to get populated here. We do a pick. Old Boys, Wildcard Academy is going to get the first ban, actually. I don't really know which way this is going to go. Both these teams kind of deep map pools, but I guess I could talk about these two teams while we wait. I'll start with the Old Guard here. The Old Boys, this is a Polish squad with some pretty common names in Counter-Strike, dating back as far as I can remember. At least CSGO, maybe even deeper. Mihu, Goofy, Rollin, joined by Tudson and Tom. These 5 players. They also have Snacks on the lineup. You know, Snacks is the G2 in-game leader. Old ex-Virtus Pro in-game leader. This guy's had tenure throughout Counter-Strike since at least 1.6. But they're taking on Wildcard Academy. Now, this Wildcard Academy is doing relatively well. This is Sen Tripex MHL. He's also a Polish player. Amsalem, this is their newest player, and Donnie. And these guys, well, they have been winning tournaments left, right, and center. Mainly the EU Pro League, they got 3rd place. United 21 League for season 40 and 39. They both got 1st place in those. And those are the 2 most recent tournaments. They're also competing in ESL in the Cups. They do consistently within Pro League. And realistically, I think they're going to be the heavy favorites coming into this. These 2 teams during the regular season of season 55 didn't have the greatest showing. Neither of them were topping the charts. Old Boys came in at 9-3, and Wildcard Academy came in at 7-5. So to see these 2 teams in the grand finals of ESEA Advanced Season 55, kind of yeah, I wouldn't have expected it if you showed me the team list of all the teams that made it into the finals, or into playoffs at least. Now, Wildcard Academy, they did get a bye playing against Mao's NXT. They were coming back from the giveaway, Red Bull giveaway tournament there in Sweden. So Wildcard Academy got a free pass on that. And then the Old Boys, well, they had to slug their way through the lower bracket. But I do have the vetoes up on screen here. It's going to be a German server, and we're going to be starting with Overpass, Mirage, Nuke, Train. Now, let's see here. Wildcard Academy bans Inferno. Old Boys ban Ancient. Overpass picked by Wildcard Academy. Mirage picked by Old Boys. Nuke picked by Wildcard Academy, Train picked by the Old Boys, and Dust 2 as the default map that we actually won't get to. So it's going to be Overpass, Mirage, Nuke, and Train. And as the server starts to populate, I'm going to be getting myself in there to make sure that, well, make sure my HUD works. Having a few issues recently. My production is dog shit, but we are working on it. So as the server loads up, I'm trying to see if there's any other information I could pass you guys before we get going. I don't think there's too much needed to be passed on here. These 2 teams are going to slug it out. Well, I guess I could talk about ESEA Advance. No longer a ranked tournament in the eyes of HLTV. Kind of unfortunate. $15,500 is the prize pool. And winning this is just money for the European region. If you were to look at the South American region or even the North American region, winning this will definitely get an addition to maybe ESL or ESL Challengers Cup 51 or Season 51 in North America. Because I don't think we have 24 teams with VRS points in North America, realistically. I know Europe does. I know both these teams are probably outside the standings. I can see Wildcard Academy sitting at 153. And Old Boys, they don't even have a VRS ranking. So this is just for pride, the pride of winning Season 55 ESEA Advance. And that's no slouch. There's nothing to be negative about if you are victorious in that. All right, loading into the server. Let's see what we can get done here. I don't know if you can see my cat trees in behind. Set them up for your viewing pleasure just at this very moment. That's Henry. And then you can't really see him, but that's Tucker. That's one of the T's in Mr. Bat. Henry is, well, Henry's Henry. Server's loading up right now. It's going to be Overpass, like I said. Oh, I double-click spectate in game. I'm wrecking myself. Yeah. See if I can jump right into this. Ah, server wants to play these games, eh? They want to play the fuck around game. Dun, 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 dun. Singing my theme music as we start. It's always the same. It's always good stuff. Ooh, HUD looks nice. I'll be jumping over to game here shortly. I'm just going to make sure that I can get all the players on the server before anything crazy happens. I know these teams have coaches, so I'm going to have to remove those coaches from my HUD to make sure that your viewing pleasure is just players on the server. No one loading up just yet. Of course, this is the grand finals of ESEA Advanced Season 55. Players joining in now. Goofy, the first one to join, but I'm going to bring it right back. They have 10 minutes to get into the server. We're going to be starting with Overpass, then Mirage, Nuke, Train as the final map. This is a best of 5, but you don't need all 5 maps when Wildcard comes in with the advantage, 1 to the good. And that's because they worked their way through the upper bracket of playoffs in Season 55. Found themselves in the grand finals. Add team to HUD. Wildcard. Old boy's a little awkward here. Make sure all their players are actually on the server. One update to go. Come on, use your brain. True view disabled. That's what we like to see. Yeah, let me get out of this. Come on, HUD. Stop being strange for me. Stop it. Ba, 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 ba. Less than 5 minutes. We're going to be starting this game. It's going to be a beauty. Gonna be a beauty. Let me add the maps to the list here. Overpass, Mirage, Nuke. No, Overpass, Mirage, Nuke, Train. Yes, I'm not ridiculous. All right, let's jump over the game capture. See if you guys hear and see everything that I see. See Toms and Goofies. Let me get some sound. This looks like pretty loud. Someone shoot your gun. Doesn't matter. Players joining up right now. I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll leave you here with this. I'll be right back. Thanks, babe. All right, we're back. We're hydrated. We got players in the server. Give me some gunshots, though. Ooh, MHL has a photo. We like to see that. Donnie doesn't. I could change that to nah, we're good. Players loading into the server. Time to connect, about 3 minutes left. We're about 2.5 minutes behind, 2 minutes, 20 seconds behind the actual play of the match. So this is going to be casting in the past. This will probably fall on deaf ears. Who's got the Wildcard Academy vote? Who wants them to win? Any Old Boys fans out there, I assume? Playing years of Counter-Strike. You're going to gain some fans. Amsalam. I like that name. Tom. Tripex. Sends. Donnie. MHL. Oh, yeah, you're gone, coach. You're gone. Watch this. The power of the HUD. Pow! It doesn't exist anymore. Still waiting for a couple of players from the Wildcard Academy. No, they're all loaded up. We're waiting for a couple of players from the old boys to load into the server, and then we'll be underway. We'll take this best of 5 on the road, see what we can get done. If you are new here and you don't know anything about Counter-Strike, or you want to learn a little bit about Overpass, this smoke right here, front bathroom smoke that gets deployed from here, or here, or here, or here, is going to be thrown every single round. This front bathroom smoke eliminates the ability for the CTs to take a shot, fall back, and take a second one. The CTs, while running, should be throwing a smoke here, or a smoke here, and a Molotov right here. What this does is slows the terrorist's ability to take playground space away. It's also an indication that the counter-terrorist might be going for a peek here, might be boosting for a peek here, or might be running for a peek in this location, or posted up for the playground's position. So this utility that lands, this is the standard. CTs drop utility here, terrorists drop utility here. There will be flashes raining over mid. Second location that needs to be cleared, connector. If this utility does go out towards mid, smoke, and a Molotov, there's a high percentage chance that there's going to be a counter-terrorist come down here and take a peek or post in this position. Usually this is accompanied by a grenade being tossed from here to blow open the door. This is what my grenades look like, just like that. I'll do a little ledger up here. This is a Molotov. This is a smoke. This is a grenade. This is a player. Oh god, P for player. Now if connector is taken, usually the counter-terrorists don't hold it for very long because flashes are going to rain over, this front bathroom smoke is going to land, and there's going to be a peek from the terrorists. But the benefit of being in this position here or down here, you can hear the pitter-patter of all the terrorists running up to this location, so you need to fall back. Now, terrorists, they have Molotovs that land here early. This is thrown from here as an indication of terrorists want to control this. How do they control this? They need to get into connector, they need to molly the stairs, and they need to flash over to get themselves through this tunnel. If this Molotov lands here and is in good position, this is going to slow down the counter-terrorists to try to take water control. So now we've seen front bathroom smoke, top mid smoke, Molotov to block the entrance from T stairs into playground. Molotov bouncing off this back wall, burn the stairs to stop the counter-terrorist peek. Nades over this wall to blow open the door to get a double boost right here to support the connector peek. Molotovs towards short to allow the terrorists to take this space. The name of the game for Overpass is control everything within this circle. Realistically, this part too, you want to be able to get yourself to front bathrooms, cut off lines of vision for the counter-terrorists, essentially everything on this side of this line, everything here, all of this, and all in here, this is all trying to be controlled by the terrorists. If you can control this, this forces a player here, or here, here, or here, or here for the CTs. And on B site, obviously a plethora of locations they can stand. But what you're trying to do is make it so obscure that the counter-terrorists are crushed into this small area, so you can execute up short, execute up monster, rotate up tunnels, get yourself through long, and execute onto the site. And that all starts with a front bathroom smoke. If this smoke is not thrown, this is usually an indication that it's going to be a faster B play. Because if it's not thrown, then from this location here, the counter-terrorists can spot all of mid just by jump spotting. They can hear the walk through connector, they can hear the door. But as I say that, faux knife round is going to be starting. Let me confirm who picked this map. Overpass picked by Wildcard, so Old Boys are going to win this knife round, and they're going to get to start on either side. Probably CT side, if I had to guess. for a squad, this Polish squad. The old heads of this old boys squad. CTB the way to go. See a little team on team damage. Once this commences, we're going to be jumping into this. Grand Finals, ESEA Season 55. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It means a lot. Let me see in the chat who's voting for who's got the Wildcard Academy to win this, and who wants the Old Boys to take the championship, to beat back Wildcard, the team they lost to in the upper bracket finals, 2-0, 13-7. And 13-3 Ancient and Nuke. Wildcard Academy was able to destroy the Old Boys. And there we go. Old Boys on the CT side. We have Goofy, Tom, Mihu, Tudson, and Rollin. The Wildcard Academy side, we have Tripex, S, Sen or Sen, Donnie, MHL, and Amsalem. Map 1 overpass. My name is Mr. Henry Batt. This is the finals, the grand finals of ESEA Advanced Season 55. This is a best of 5 Wildcard Academy. Coming into this, 1 to the good because they worked their way through the upper bracket. And this is map 1 of 4. We could see 2 maps, we could see 3, we could see 4. Old Boys look like they want to take a little bit of a stance towards mid here. No smoke being thrown out early on the pistol round. Rollin just spotting for information. That's a priority position, looking towards Fountain's mid. And as this close with and destroy mentality from the Wildcard Academy comes into fruition, first contact in connector. Sen gets 1, dropping Tudson. They didn't expect Goofy to be stuck in this corner. USP rings out, running low on ammo, pinch from 2 sides. USP can't find more. Donnie finishes the kill. You can see the space now being gained by the terrorists. They don't own water control, but that's Amsalem's job to listen for that door to open up as they walk towards site. MHL finds a good kill onto Mihu, and now that flank being watched. Rallin working his way through long bathrooms, but gushed up early. He has no chance. This is Tom rotating back in, but Wildcard Academy look like the pistol. It's going to be theirs. Fight on the flank about to happen. Shoulder spotted. Rollin to the advantage. Glock is quick, though, and the swing of the Glock too good. Amsalem puts him down. MHL puts the first on the board for the Wildcard Academy, and they take the pistol round. Again, we see them just working up towards mid, working their way through connector. They deal with the 2 members in here. The second player, SN, doesn't try to take that fight. He waits for his teammate to come down connector, and they clear this space. Once they do, it's a pack of 4. Walk right onto the site. Nothing they can do on the CT side of Old Boys. Wildcard Academy, 1 to the good. Heavy rifle investment for the Wildcard Academy. Old Boys do force into this, though. It's Desert Eagles, a single scout in the hands of Tudson, and he's looking for an early pick towards mid. Wildcard Academy potentially expecting this. You can see the connector Molotov, the short Molotov on the mini-map there. That's an indication that space to be cleared. The front bathroom smoke does land, but they hear that scout ring out and tags. Going back and forth, Tudson drops MHL, but now this bomb kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place towards mid. Donnie can't handle the spray from the MP9. He gets put down and AK handed over to the experienced hands of Rollin. He does have more to deal with. The upper connector push does come in. He cleans up that kill onto Amsalem, and now Tripex stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's got 3 members pushing towards him from the A site, but he can't handle the heat. Tom closes the distance with that 5.7 and puts him on the ground, and now SN's position noted in the Desert Eagle from Goofy. Too quick. Great round from the Old Boys to thwart off the Wildcard Academy full purchase. A little bit of maybe a mistake there from the Wildcard Academy, putting multiple members in connector. Top mid smoke does come out a little bit late, and that scout shot towards top mid really opening things up, and now Wildcard gonna have to force back into this. Their money does not look great. But round 3 underway. I wouldn't be surprised to see some monster smokes getting tossed out early. That was Mihu putting it on the board. Smoke to land right here. And it looks beautiful. SN's going to deal with this, but you can see the utility being deployed on short, giving an indication that water wants to be controlled, and Tom's to deal with this. The jump spot gives him information into connector. As he jumps, you can see deep in connector, and he can see short pipe. 2 positions that he needs to hold on to, but Rowland with the salvaged AK-47 from the round prior, looks like he wants to get a little curious. Don't overextend your hand, Old Boys. You got lots of players pushing up towards Fountain. Reclear of water is about to come in from the Old Boys side. As soon as they see this, they're going to be able to clear Monster quite quickly, and Rowland's depth in connector is going to give the indication to the Old Boys of what is about to happen. So Tudson's scout and Mihu's Galil is going to have to go huge on the A site. There's a flank to be watched here. SM at the Tech 9. He's going to turn his back at almost the wrong time. Spots the 1, but Rowland's rotate too quick. He's too clean with that AK-47 as well. And now Mihu's going to have a whole pile of attackers about to walk into him in the bathrooms. Deals with the first quite handedly as well. Gets himself out. Instead elects to stay for more. Here's the pitter patter more. His teammate Tutson deals with the long push. Another Galil spray finds himself the first and a second round on the board for Old Boys. Good hold by Mihu. Good information gained down towards short. And the connector push from Rollin. They close the gap. They find the information, and Old Boys put 2 on the board with an easy third to come. The Glock train emerges in Wildcard Academy. On the back foot on their map pick. This is CT sided. Let's track this smoke. Mihu. No, we're not tracking it now. Prod skills. Missed. He missed. Oh my god. I was like, that lineup doesn't look too good in my head. Let's track it, but it doesn't seem to track as well as he thought. Now, Rollin's going to have a big job to deal with in connector here. The door gets blown open from the jump spot of Mihu. The water control is taken by the Old Boys, and they're expecting a little bit of a connector play here. The stack is in. The spray from the AK even better, but he can't control it. Tom finds himself 2. The Glock does respond for 1, and now just chipping away to find himself a second, actually. MHL doing his best impression here. He can't get much done, and now Monster Tunnel. Goofy flies out with that MAC-10. And the angle of the Monster Tunnel allows for a dodge of his head, and he finds a third. Good play from Old Boys there. We saw that nade get right-click jump toss to blow this door open. The jump spot gives the information that 2 are stacked here and 1 more. Jiggle peeking back and forth in this location, so Rollin swings with the help from the water push-up and a spray through the wood wall. And Old Boys find themselves with a third. Purchase coming back in from Wildcard Academy here. That's a better smoke towards Monster Tunnel. Lands a little bit late, but it does not matter. Front bathroom smoke continuously being deployed just a little bit too late. This is giving Rollin a little bit of freedom to stay pressed up towards mid. He doesn't hear anything through connector yet, and the constant clear of water keeps Wildcard Academy a little bit stagnant. As they molly top con, that's a good indication for Rollin to get himself out of there, but he looks like he's curious. He wants to go for more. No pressure towards top mid means he can hold this position. He also has a teammate. Tudson can't handle the AK. Donnie puts him down, takes a dink for his troubles. But it doesn't matter. Rollin good for 1. The trade's there. Tom even better from long bathrooms, but now he's stuck. And that's an open A site, so the rotate from Mihu is in. Great timing from him to find himself stuck behind sight. He's hearing the pitter-patter of multiple coming up. Headshot! Not engaged. Donnie, what a flick from him. Opening up the A site, and now the retake is on. Goofy with that MAC-10, feeling a little goofy coming up towards connector. He is going to be able to upgrade to an AK at his feet. He does that quite loud, but the depth of the T's on A site means nothing. That bomb plant back site is actually pretty powerful. It's got a beautiful view right here. We're going to have to watch this retake come in. They could come from long, double up through short, but the post plant positions here from Wildcard Academy too clean with it. MHL looking like he wants to fight into this, getting in front of the smoke tossed by the CTs to maybe bait in Wildcard Academy to die to this bomb, and they just might. Donnie might be done for here. 8 HP is pretty close. Bomb goes down, takes MHL and Donnie. So Old Boys capitalizing, another $200 in their pocket. And that's not a bad way to lose a round. 2 surviving, tons of money in the bank. So Old Boys, not too upset about that. They just gotta maybe change up their tactics. Like I said, that mid smoke gets tossed out. I think the position here from Rollin, he could have rotated off. But he stayed so tucked in this position because of his teammate number 4, Tudson, who is in this location. But it was definitely cleared out. As soon as that happened, he had to get himself out, but he elected to stay and fight. Did good for 1, but not enough. There's that CT molly towards top mid with the smoke in this location. Gives them the space to push up towards long. That's Tom. And then Rollin in connector says, I have support from party with the op of Tudson, so I can maintain connector control. While this is happening, Goofy looks like he wants to take a fight towards short water, but a team flash pushes him off. And Wildcard Academy taking this round slow. Front bathroom smoke does come in right now, forcing Tudson's hand to get off of this angle. He should post on the connector position, allowing Rollin to rotate to support his teammate long. It looks like he wants to do that, rotating through that smoke to get himself into long bathrooms. Utility raining over. Tudson blinded, sees nothing. AK swings and he can't hold it down. Amsalam puts him down, but now Rollin stuck between the smoke as it's about to fade. He's going to have a contact on the opposite side. And for A1S is good, but closing the distance is Donnie with Trip X. They put down Rollin, and now they force the fight onto the A site. Goofy's got to rotate off. That is a chunky nade thrown by Tom, dropping Trip X down to 11 HP. Now curious like a cat up towards long at 6 HP if Trip X too quick with it. And now Goofy again stuck on the opposite bomb site unable to rotate in. Wildcard Academy look like they're about to put a third on the board. Close this gap that Old Boys have put on early. There is still a chance, and with money in the bank, they could go for this. First kill does go Mihu's way. Looks for a second, but Amsalam too quick with it. Now a 1v3. This is doable for Goofy, but I think he got spotted. Maybe not. Finds the kill. I know he doesn't. Amsalam just swings from bank, puts him down, and finds a third for the Wildcard Academy. All right, now Wildcard, they're looking at the money here. They're saying, well, these guys forced back in this round. All 5 survive. They picked up all of our weapons. None of them had to rebuy into this round because they had all our guns. So that's maybe $1,000 on utility. Let's say 1,500. So that means they have 5 grand in the bank here. Maybe, yeah, 5 grand. 3 surviving puts them up to 7. 2 surviving keeps them at about 7. They force into this round, which means they're buying into here. So the slow default from Wildcard is coming out. And I don't know how much I like this smoke. Donnie's moving into this position to try to smoke front bathrooms. It's always a little bit too late. But into round 7, a change of pace from the Old Boys. Still keeping tabs on long is Tedson. But without the pressure towards connector or bathrooms, but indicated by the Molotov or flashes, it's a pretty standard B-site hit. So aggression from Old Boys into short. And as they hear this utility raining out towards Monster, they're primed and ready for this. Tommy take the first contact. Mihu actually gets it. Donnie trades directly back out. But now the rest of the CTs are noted. They moved into site perfectly. And Wildcard Academy delaying that mid take with that late smoke. No flashes over mid. No pitter-patter in connector with the Molotov to boot. They give up the goose and a beautiful rotate from the Old Boys to pick up a 4th on the CT side. And Wildcard Academy sent back to the bin. $1,650 in Sen's hands. $800 in Trip X, and he's bought armor. So this is going to have to be a force from them going into this round, and it's not going to be a fun one. What's their loss bonus at, actually? 1,900. They definitely have to buy into this. Their money is not great. 3 members wouldn't be able to purchase realistically as much as they wanted into the next. And Donnie starting the force buy wars early. Old Boys, great recovery on that round. They realize no heavy util towards mid means we need to rotate because it's going to be a B-site execute in Wildcard Academy. Maybe overplaying their hand just a little bit. Not setting up deep enough in that default. Not really grabbing the space that I had mentioned before that the terrorists need to grab before they can execute on anything. If you control all of this space as a terrorist, you can execute anywhere you want. But if you give the indication that no one is in this location, well, the Old Boys rotate into that perfectly and find themselves a round win. Early util coming out. I want to say the smoke is being thrown. Donnie seems a little bit haphazard with it. It wasn't even his turn to throw it. Someone else got that information out early. And Rowland almost seems like he's playing with his food here. I don't think he's too stressed about this top mid play. Tudson is in connector. And the player towards long gives them the space. But water slowly being controlled. Goofy thinks one's to his right. But when it's just pistols, no armor, they're able to clean this up easy. Tudson finds his one in connector. Goofy does find the second one in short. And now it's all on Mihu. He can't handle the spray from the Galil. Gets put down early. Goofy responds to a little chip damage with the nade. But he's going to have to get some rotates coming in. While the rest of top mid gets cleared from the Old Boys, the rotate is able to come in, and that's Rollin. This could be a juicy nade to land on default with a bomb already planted, so the retake is on. Rifles on 2 for the Wildcard Academy, so they have a chance. This is going to be MHL's job to hold back this monster push. We can see Rollin deep in heaven, expecting maybe a little bit of a push. He's going to be the late piece to activate as the fight towards Monster does go Goofy's way. He flashes in and the push is coming. But as that happens, Rollin finds the timing through heaven. Here's the second one to work his way towards CT spawn. It drops a nade onto Sen's head. But that's all she wrote. That's a 5th on the board for the Old Boys and a beautiful round at that. 4 surviving, everybody cleaning up their kills. No one overextending into anything. Well done to put a 5th on the board. Now they realize that force buy came in, so they may be able to get a 6th. They dealt with the Glocks of Wildcard Academy quite handedly the round previous. They only lost 2 in connector, but we're probably going to see that same style setup. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 2-man boost here, where they can get vision here and here, put a player with the op, peering down Monster, and maybe some early util to slow down that mid push. Rollin to deploy that early. The op with Tudson wants to peek down mid instead. Spots the shoulder of one. Doesn't realize how close these T's are, so he's got to get himself out. Rollin follows suit. Good need to slow down the advance, though. And now getting a little curious is Goofy. Great flash towards mid to slow down the terrorist advance. And Rollin with the AK-47 posted up. Goofy does find his one kill. Rollin looking for more. Trying to play that shadow advantage position, but every connector springs the trap. Tom and Rollin find themselves two. A huge nade about to land on the head of MHL. It does huge damage. His Desert Eagle finds one. He was able to find two with the blocks in the round previous, but not much more he can do now. Rollin the only victim, but 193 damage in the round. He's done his job. And that's 6 for the old boys on the CT side of Overpass. Wildcard Academy's map pick. Good day. How you doing? Dude, I'm doing great. I'm casting Counter-Strike at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, Eastern Ontario, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm living the life, bro. I'm just having some fun playing and watching Counter-Strike because why not? What else am I doing? Heavy default round coming out. Here's the early bathroom smoke thrown out by Amsalam. He actually threw it from here, which is still a little bit late, but an indication that speed is coming. Rollin hasn't seen this set of util be deployed that quickly early. A good nade from him, though. Drops 3 members of the T's down to one shotable with his M4A1S, and his advanced position is still good for 1. Avoids the smoke, which I thought was a flash, but Rollin gets himself out. Good for 1. Beautiful work so far from the Wildcard Academy side. They don't really have short, long bathrooms or connector control. This is exactly what Wildcard Academy needed to do. Good work by Old Boys, I should say. Donnie does trade back out. Rollin overextending just a little bit, but here's the space that's being gained. Everything behind this line is owned by the terrorists, and they can do what they want with it. But the double stacking monster, this is the first time Old Boys have done this, pressured up towards this position, but with no smokes or utility coming over early towards short. This is an indication that Old Boys can hold this down, and they're going to have 3 to deal with. Walking up short, Tom prime and ready. M4A1S sees the utility come out. Spray control on the first is good. Can't find himself a second, but now in depth is Goofy. But Absalom, AK-47 opens up onto the site, and now Mihu and Tudson have it all to do. That op rotating in through short or through lower. Doesn't spot the one going into graffiti. Does Tudson know this time? Doesn't look likely. But Absalom not peeking. Sees that utility deploy. Swings with the AK. Spray control is there, but Mihu already on his skates, getting himself out of there. And that's a 4th on the board for Wildcard Academy. And a pretty good changeup. They speed up towards mid. We see that early smoke get deployed here. We see the Molotov in short. We see the fly up towards mid with a couple of flashes, forcing the CTs to play depth. Once that happens, this line gets drawn. The CTs are all behind it. And realistically, it's this line being drawn. And the CTs are all behind it. This gives the terrorists a chance to rotate down towards short, group up, and execute onto the B site, which is exactly what they did. And a beautiful play by them, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more speed come into play. Banking onto the CTs of Old Boys, still on the up and up because of this right here. Look at this. They win rounds for 3. They're able to buy forever. They win 3 more with only 1 dying. They have purchases for the rest of this half, and Wildcard Academy don't seem to care. AKs aplenty for them, tons of util, and again, we want to see this smoke, we want to see this molly, we want to see this molly from the terrorist side. If that can happen, that's early space indication of where they want to go. We see the smokes deployed early, we see the flashes coming out towards mid, an indication of a fast mid play again, and Donnie's going to have a fight here. Tudson ducking behind the mid smoke, but as it gets popped, no one really checks it, they don't see. Rollin here to support, he knows that the funny plays of Wildcard Academy might slide through this smoke. A spray from Rollin is good, but a return kill from MHL even better. Tudson gives up the location with the off shot, does get a tag, but not enough. Water to be controlled by Old Boys, but they get themselves out of there. They realize they've subsided the connector control, and that line has now been drawn. What's a change of pace here? Tudson still advanced on this. Realizes Banana is not in control of Wildcard Academy as of yet, so the B-site hit has to be coming. A couple more jump spots here from Mihu. Trade of information with spam. Goofy's going to call for reinforcements here. This should be Mihu to rotate down towards B site shortly. Leave Tudson alone to jump spot from bank. The setup is coming in. Is there util over here on the B site? I don't see any of it, and they're doubling up. They're backing out towards deep graffiti and pit position. This is a little bit of a trade fight that they're looking for, and as the util reigns in, this should be the rotate from the rest of the CTs onto the B site. Send the first in. Molotov's the land to clear out the space. He finds a fight backside, but can't control it. Amsalam, perfect trade ability. And now Goofy, not really getting pressured. Springs his trap. Perfect timing. Finds the kill on the pressured Amsalam. And now into a 3-on-2 post plant. This is looking good for the Old Boys. Find the first behind. Dildo MHL loses his life. Goofy finds the second on short. And Molotov to land on default. Can't control the spray. Tripex puts him down. And now a 1-on-2. And he's pressing up close. 3 kills to his name. Spots first one falling in a pit. Throwback fadeaway AK-47 to the face. Finds himself a third and puts Michu down to put a fifth on the board for Wildcard Academy. And look at that, a little bit of BM. A 1v3 for Tripex, 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 whatever his name is. Beautiful job by him. 2 kills to start that round. 3 impactful kills to get a fifth on the board. Beautiful work from Wildcard Academy. Again, we saw them draw that line. They take the space towards mid with a good smoke. They Molotov in connector. They Molotov short. They get players into this location. They clear out connector. They work their way up towards top mid. And all this takes is a flashbang here, coming straight out of mid, a flashbang here, and then you throw one over, a flashbang here, and there's nothing that anybody in this location can do except try to avoid it. First flash hits, second flash hits, player swings as this flash hits in this entire location, taken over by the terrorists. They draw this line by 1:35. They can do whatever they want. Wildcard Academy, up to 5 on the T side, and that's pretty damn good. Don't get me wrong, this is a CT-sided map, but they're feeling pretty good. They are 1 to the good, coming through the upper bracket of ESEA Advanced Season 55. They are in the grand finals. They beat Old Boys in the upper bracket finals to find themselves in this position. They didn't play overpass. That early util coming out again, a smoking connector to indicate maybe a little bit of a faster play. Drop nade onto Tripex's head, coming out of that short pipe, but 4 CTs on B site, ready for this. The lack of smoke and utility towards mid. Rollin makes a good call to get the rest of his team off site, but while this is happening, a little bit of a slow, a little bit of a lull in the battle. Maybe Old Boys rethink this plan, and you can see Mihu dropping a couple pieces of util, rotating back towards the A site, because Rollin's saying, boys, I hear nothing. I'm about to get pinched in connector. What can I do? Information to be gained here. Goofy looking for a fight towards short. Maybe a flash to come in, but I doubt it. Good shot from Tripex to open up onto Tudson. Goofy's to respond. M4A1S does some chip damage, but now with the monster they go and try to hold this down. Is Tom finds himself the first 2 kick. Collect on the third. MHL through the smoke finds him. And now it's a 3-on-2 on this post plant that should be coming in. Mihu ahead of the game though. Smoke on default, smoke on bridge. And is he going to push through this? It is being watched. Tripex, nice try for him. Does do massive damage onto Mihu. MHL gets off the bomb, spams through the edge of the smoke to clean up the kill onto Mihu. And now a 1-on-2 for Rollin. He was deep in connector. They know how aggressive this guy likes to get, so they're probably going to try to clear the flank here and wrap around Monster Tunnel. I wouldn't be surprised here. 27 HP on Sen, but he's doing it. This information gain is going to be beautiful, but now spotted. MHL does a little bit of a chip shot towards Rollin. Says, we see you, bro. Little NA nade, a flash, not good enough. MHL's nade collects the kill with a couple of shots of Rollin's chest, and that's a 6-6 half. Wildcard Academy, figure it out. Let me slug some water here. If you are just joining, thanks very much for being here. My name is Mr. Henry Batt. Just casting for some fun. This is a best of 5. This is ESEA Advanced Season 55 European Grand Finals. You can see at the top right corner, a best of 5. Wildcard Academy 1 to the good, coming into this with a default win because they worked their way through the upper bracket. Old Boys found themselves in the lower bracket via the hand of Wildcard Academy, so a little bit of a grudge match. These two teams played once before in the regular season, and Old Boys were able to take it pretty handedly, I might add. 13-4 on train, but this is overpass. And it looks like a faster monster play from the Old Boys. And they're about to get a face full of dualies. 2 sets of them here. MHL and SN looking for it, but they can't capitalize. MHL finds up first, but the speed of the Glock drops him. And now next on the chopping block here is Donnie, but he can't capitalize. Finally finds one. A quick adjustment of the USP takes down Tom. Mihu responds into a 3-on-2. And now Tripex is rotated into heaven. Definitely noted. P2000 rings out. Tripex finds himself 2 through the smoke and the edge of the wall, and now the fight commences, and into the smoke goes Rollin, and he finally gets found. Amsalam puts him down, and Wildcard Academy win the pistol and put a 7th on the board. Now we look at the scoreline. We can see that it wasn't that successful of a conversion for Wildcard. They end up losing 3 in a row to the Old Boys, so they don't want to make that same mistake again. They are on the CT side of overpass. So I wouldn't be surprised to see rifles and low utility investment come into this round. Play the distance. You don't need to do much. Tripex gets himself a FAMAS. All the utility in the world. Donnie expecting more. Here comes the rifles with low utility purchase from Wildcard Academy. And Absalom says, I'm going to get aggressive here, boys. Drops utility for his teammates. He's going to have the smoke molly combo to stop any kind of early aggression here towards mid. Smoke out. Molotov next. And that's landing in those 2 locations that I mentioned before. And an earlier front smoke Being deployed, a flash over the top of the wall. Missed the first one. Tudson tucking behind the fountain. Flash completely avoids him, and Hansalam's plan to grab mid-control and take the fight doesn't work out, but he does find the indication that the Force Buy does come in, and it's a pretty substantial one. 3 Galils, a Desert Eagle, and now that M4A1S in Tom's hands. So the rotate from Sen to get towards A site. MHL jiggles towards long, overstaces. Welcome, and Mihu puts him down with the Desert Eagle to the teeth. And now 4 members approaching on this long side. Sen, a whole plethora of information at his feet, finds himself 0 kills. Oh my god, Tom actually takes out Tudson, finds himself a second in Donnie to close the round out. And another failed pistol conversion round for the Wildcard Academy, and Old Boys looking to take the lead. Got any Wildcard Academy fans in the chat? Any takers? Any Old Boys fans? Wildcard kind of feeling themselves on the T side. They got 6 rounds. Kind of a stutter back and forth, 3-3-3, until they found themselves a tie game at the half. Win the pistol pretty well. And then an overextension from Amsalam towards mid. I'd say that was the round decider, but now a little bit of a different play from the Wildcard Academy. They have forced into this. Jump spot towards short for Sen. He's just setting up for a retake on the B site. This is a setup from Wildcard where, if the T's hit the B site, which is what they look like they're going to do, Molotov this location, Molotov this location, Molotov this location, smoke, smoke, then it's going to be a safe. Wildcard Academy aren't going to go for this, maybe try to grab some exits. If they hit the A site, Sen rotates over and they try to hold, but the execute coming out towards B site now. Util a little bit delayed here from the Old Boys. It doesn't look like they wanted to do much with it. They wanted to keep weapons out to try to take these early fights. And they have the site for free. Rotate out from the Wildcard Academy guys. Fight from Tom to Amsalam down towards connector is good, but he's got to get himself out of there. Tripex, along with Donnie, looking to close the gap here, but that's going to be an 8th on the board for Old Boys. And doing it in style again. We saw them on the first half win 2 rounds in a row free and clear with the picked up weapons of the enemy. Now a little bit different. They're on the T side, finding themselves a second nice and early, getting up to 8 and taking the lead. And whatever Wildcard Academy saves in this round is what they're going to be having in the next. Donnie and Amslam are going to have to save. Goofy does find a massive shot onto MHL. And with only 2 surviving from the Wildcard Academy side, this is going to be a difficult round for them to even get started in. Should be up to 9 now for the Old Boys. It was a good setup from Wildcard Academy, don't get me wrong. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. They have the ability to fight off anything that they want. They had the jump spot from this location. Great B execute from the Old Boys. It wasn't even a great B execute. It was a single flash that landed back here, and 4 members just pressed out onto the site like this, with 1 in depth, sort of like a football game. You can see the crossfires that had been established when they found it. We're missing the eco kills towards mid. Donnie does do pretty good with the USP to find himself 2. Tries to trade up to a better rifle or a better pistol, but he finds himself a P2000. Tudson puts a 9th on the board. Usually those rounds as Wildcard Academy, they want to burn tons of util from the T side, but they said, nah, we don't care. We know these guys got lots of money. Let's just get into this next rifle round. And they're doing it quickly. No kits to be purchased for the CT side, so whatever the plan is this round, it has to be fight. Old Boys should be ready for this. Again, I want to see that smoke being thrown from somewhere in this location that lands front bathrooms, but it ain't going to happen too early. They're going to allow the util from the CTs to rain out true. But it is a faster connector play. They're going to grab the space nice and early. Amsalam hearing the pitter patter. He's going to be playing this connector position. Front bathroom smoke does come in. As they clear out this space, this is a hard position for Amsalam to clear. This should be noted and watched for. Tudson finds the shot but can't capitalize on the kill. And the fade away from Amsalam is good. Old Boys need to keep fighting into this. They need to go back and grab themselves water control. And you can see the patience from Wildcard Academy. They did grab water, but with no more information to be gained from them, they just need to play patient. 3 setup on the A site, waiting for this push. And this is a pretty good setup, actually. I don't mind this whatsoever. MHL might expose himself to the short side. But as he sees the util rain in from long, he's calling for support. Amslam finds himself two. The fight from MHL, well timed to take out Rowland. Amslam does find himself a third on short, but Mihu picked up M4A1S from 2 rounds prior, finds himself the kill onto the unhelmeted MHL, and now into a 1-on-3. This is completely possible, 1-on-3. We saw Tripex get himself a 3-piece in a 1-on-3, but with the bomb down towards short, I don't think there's much Mihu can do with 30 seconds to go. Wildcard Academy bounce right back. A good setup on the A site with no pressure towards B because they controlled water. They knew exactly what the old boys were doing, and a little bit of an overextension plus a dig from Amsalam. Good enough to find himself 3 and an 8th on the board for Wildcard Academy. Oh, I didn't even realize Sen only has 2 kills. This guy's 2 and 13 right now. Tripex, by the time he got that 3K in that 1 round, he'd only 2 kills as well. This Wildcard Academy staying in this game by the skin of their teeth, but onto the CT side they are, and this might be their chance to start putting a gap between them and the enemy. No head armor for Sen, 450 bucks in the bank. I'd love to see him buy that. Maybe even get himself a kit, but it does not matter. Short Molotov does come out from the T side of Old Boys. They are looking to gain water control, but the response utility too strong. And now the jump spot towards connector yields no information. Amsalam tucked deep. Does have the support of 1 MHL towards top banana side. Fight into water going to CT's way. Donnie trades out. Pretty good positioning. CTs do control short. They hear the pitter patter. They rotate out. That is goofy. Now they need to find this fight in connector, and Amsalam stuck. Utility to be deployed. He's getting forced into the fight. Looks for it. Can't capitalize. Tom puts him down. Good use of utility to clear that space out. And a smoke on the connector door is going to give information over to the old boys that they need. But look at this. Sen reclearing into Monster Tunnel, but it's too little too late. Goofy finding his timing to get out. And as they reclear into water, this is going to be information over that the hit's coming towards UMHL. He jumps towards long. Spots one from the bank side. Deploys utility to make it seem like he's more than he is. Connector. First point of contention. Good nade from Tom. Chipping down the 2 players. Trying to rotate into connector. They have found that timing. But as this util starts to rain onto the A site, they might not expect it this quickly. Tripex the first point of contact. Here's them running up towards short. This is going to be a hard task from MHL. Finds the descending head of 1 on Tom, but the rotate's too good. Bomb dropped though. Tripex nade onto it. Finds himself a good location now in the bathrooms. He does have support from Sen. But as that smoke goes on to the bomb, T's are going to pick it up and run away. Now they're going to have to play a 2-on-2 post plan here. Gap is pretty good through the edge of the smoke. Tudson does drop Sen, and now a 1-on-2 for Tripex. We saw him in a 1-on-3 before. Spots one rotating towards CT spawn. Gets himself out, rotating towards bank, and now Tripex tries to figure this play out. Knows where both members are, but Tudson too quick with the 308 and puts him down, and double digits secured for the old boys on the T side of overpass. This is more like it. This is what we want to see. Good play from the old boys to clear out connector. They fought into water. They lose that space. Good rotation out from Goofy as well while the CT's cleared into this location. Once that happened, the execute onto the A site comes in, and the old boys capitalize. This should be 11 for them, barring any crazy stunts with this 1 Desert Eagle on the CT side. They're probably going to boost on the sandbags, look for this opening fight. They see the utility raining in. The boost coming out. Let's see if this Desert Eagle can capitalize. Oh, look at this. Creepy. Mihu understanding what's in front of him. He's going to have 2 to deal with. Spots the 1 dismantling from the boost position. Says, boys, I spotted them deep. Let's just follow our protocols. Molly into connector from party. Gives Tom space to work with. Awkward clear of that position. It seemed like he was aiming a little bit high. Maybe he likes to snap down instead of pull up. But as Sen hears that connector open, old boys are saying, we've cleared all this. We gotta clear this 1 position of Sen back out. And you can see that Tom really taking his time in connector, doesn't want to fight into that. Finally finds the courage to do it though. And as that happens, the push from Sen is perfectly timed. Tudson, Goofy find themselves 3 kills towards long on the oppressing T side. USP taps away, but not good enough. Tom puts him down, and now Tripex into a 1-on-4. Spots the first. Desert Eagle ring out. Doesn't find anything just yet. Looking for more. 1-on-5, in fact. And this is 11 on the board for old boys on the map pick of Wildcard Academy. Oh, he's going for it. Nice. That's an eagle shot. Looks for more. Finds the arm of Goofy, but not enough. That's 11. 2 more to go. These are the hardest rounds to get for the old boys. An attack timeout being called for Wildcard Academy. This is a chance for the coach to get on the mic, start chatting with the boys about what's happening, and they're seeing exactly what the old boys are doing. Remember, you have 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions to clear out for the T side. The optional position, and then this position that is always, I'll put an A here. You always have someone monster, especially on the defaults. It all depends on the order in which you want to clear these out. Generally, when you clear number 1 out, you're going to clear number 4 out. When you clear number 2 out, it's going to be done with utility raining over mid or utility raining over water. If you clear 3 out first, that's an indication that the CTs might be able to push towards mid or have a heavier stack in towards connector. But you still have to gain this position in order to have everything behind this line. Once you gain everything behind this line as the terrorists, you find a way to execute. You take a gamble, a risk, based on the information that you have in front of you to execute onto a site. And look at this, the connector play coming in, Molotov's towards short, which means the Wildcard Academy can stay a little bit pressed up here in front bathrooms, but NHL gets the call to fall back as they clear into water. This is Donnie's responsibility. He lost the fight before, so he's being a little bit more patient. He does have support here from Sen. But as they clear up towards front bathrooms, the mantle up from NHL, good to chip down Goofy, but not enough to get the kill, and he's looking for more. He has a teammate in worst hole towards long. That's Absalam. MHL forced off the line, multiple flashes, and again, that fight protocol towards this long side, this is an indication that all this is clear to the old boys. But if they don't hold bathrooms or hold water control, they don't have anything. They can't execute on a site. You see 3 players deep, ready, and raring for it, and MHL thwarts the push from Rollin towards long, giving more of an indication over to Wildcard Academy where the old boys are. They're going to have to rotate out. They're going to have to clear through water before they do anything else. And the double stack towards this water position is going to be hard to break. Donnie with a smoke and a flash, Sam with a Molotov smoke and a nade. It's going to make it ever difficult. They're going to rely, I believe, on Mihu to probably molly to short. But now Tom walking out the connector. Salam finds the kill on the flank, pressuring towards top connector, so the boys can't peek out towards water just yet. This is information gained. The jump up here, maybe. What are you doing, Salam? Your 2 teammates are in water. What are you sprinting out here for? A little bit of a miscommunication, but with only 15 seconds on the clock, it doesn't matter. The old boys are saving. And although the heroics, a double kill here for Salam, maybe a little bit of a miscommunication with the 2 members here because he just walks his way into his demise. Nevertheless, a great 9th round for the Wildcard Academy side and a good hold on site. Again, they control water. They know everything that the old boys are doing. They may not have eyes on this location here, but they know that's in terrorist control. So what do? They have this set up. The op rings out for 1 towards long. That activates Salam after about 5 to 6 seconds. Gets himself here, finds himself a double piece, closes the round down. Round 21, Wildcard Academy 9, Old Boys 11. It's a response change from the Old Boys side. Same standard util for the CTs out towards mid as well as party position. Molotov and smoke alike. This gives MHL some more room to play with. We've mentioned this a few times. The door has been broken open, so Tripex can jump spot. But that's a deep spam. And with the smoke impeding his vision, it's just more of the same. Donnie going for the same peek towards short tunnel. Oh, looks away at the wrong time. Finds the dink on the Tom. The response from Sen is good, but the op even better. And now Tripex stuck between a rock and a hard place on site. He is playing behind this dildo position. And for A1S primed, needs towards short. A little bit of an indication of what could be coming their way. But the rest of the old boys slow down. This does give a chance for a rotate for Wildcard Academy to get into position. But old boys should be executing properly onto this site. It's going to be Tudson to throw out that utility. He is just posted watching Monster Tunnel right now. But any second, as Rollin rotates in, the util should come raining onto this site. There are 2 CTs here to deal with this. Tripex and Absalam. They don't really have the utility yet to deal with this. So this will be a hard fight for them to deal with. Tripex finds one, gets burned out by the utility. Now Absalam deep in pit, finds himself the first, falls into the smoke that's thrown by the T's. He has a little bit of a saving grace here, looks for more, but as they mantle up over default site, he can't find the kill right away. He does though, Goofy's gets dropped, and this is looking good for Wildcard Academy. 25 seconds on the clock, Tudson can't find the kill. MHL dodges the first shot of the 308, comes back with a 308 to the lips of Tudson and puts a 10th on the board for Wildcard Academy. And now they have to figure out what this purchase is going to be. AKs can be dropped from two members, Mihu and Tudson, over to their teammates on the Old Boys side. So this is going to be a purchase back into this. The Wildcard Academy have a real chance to get themselves to a tie game and potentially push it to 12 first. They just have to deal with the AKs and this Mac 10 of Goofy. And in this situation, Old Boys, you need a little bit more speed and a little bit more patience. You have to grab connector, you have to grab mid-control, you have to push back, and you have to gain this line. You have to find a way to gain all of this information. The faster you do that, the more utility that will be wasted by Wildcard Academy earlier in the round, and a better chance for you to execute, but with two towards the B side. It looks like late water, late connector is the play, and they are just boosting over this mid-smoke. It looks like Wildcard Academy are ready for this. Look at how deep they are on the line. They don't even know it yet, but the Old Boys control everything. It is a slow, methodical clear. Water controlled now by the T's. And every time they control this, they're able to rotate back and forth from A and B sites. The Wildcard Academy have to have a pretty strong hold. Boost being spotted for. Good little spot of Monster here from Sen. I think he's clipping off of something on the wall. Yeah, he's bumping his head. Giving him a little bit more of an angle here, but with a minute on the clock, all that space now being cleared out by the Old Boys. Resmoke of front bathrooms is going to be good. Top bathrooms, I guess. Front bathrooms. Top bathrooms. Top. Jump spot and water from Tripex gives no information over. Util landing towards A site is going to be a little bit of indication, but as water is still controlled, the bomb can still rotate from the Old Boys all the way back down towards the B site, but as 25 seconds are on the clock, you can see the util being dumped on B site, forcing the rotate of Tripex up towards the A site, and this is going to be a heavy hold for the CTs of Wildcard Academy. MHL finds the first. Amsalam looking primed and ready for the next. The pitter patter behind him, he's missing it. What's he not seeing? Turns to find the kill on the AK or on the Mac 10, but he gets overwhelmed. The next CT's up in line, pushing through the smoke. Miu drops Donnie as he tries to push through, but Tripex, the fourth piece to this hold, trying to find his way, but Sen finds the last two and an 11th on the board for Wildcard Academy. Bringing it right back. Well done. That was a little bit awkward there. We're sitting here looking at Amsalam, and he hears the pitter patter of one jumping and fucking around up here at the Mac 10. Turns and gets the kill, tries to have the spray, and then Donnie just pushing through the smoke here. Mihu, super simple, one and a double, but it's all for naught. The four-pronged defense for Wildcard Academy on the A site comes up aces. And they take their last hack timeout. This is actually going to give a chance for the Old Boys to chat too. Looks like Mihu and Rollin have picked themselves up AK-47s while the other members are starting to save. A little bit awkward, I'd say. Maybe a chance for them to talk it out. Chance for me to get some water. Skill. All right, round 23. We are going the distance. We're going to get all 24 rounds. Pretty standard stuff between these two teams. Purchase massive on the CT side. Helmets, kits, full utility op, and an AK sprinkled in there. The T side, not so good. They are playing for the win right now. Wildcard Academy say nay, nay. Tripex misses the monster smoke again. Okay, he's just doing it a little bit differently. It is an awkward little drop of that smoke. Does get a little bit of support, but I don't know if that's the one I'd want to be throwing. Water control firmly in the hands of Goofy. Does get jump spotted though, so that's information over. He's trying not to get rocked by this spam. And the utility landing on B site, an early indication that this might be a B nade and go. Smoke on the default position is going to give an opening for the T's to get up onto site. Donnie fumble fucking with some utility on site. M4A1S prime from pit, finds the first, looks for more. Spray control just not there, and they still have to clear the corner. They know Sen's position is here. Finds himself one through the edge of the smoke, tries to spam down with the bomb planter, but can't get it done. And a 3-on-3 post plant underway. Tom does find one back on the Tripex to put this into that aforementioned 3-on-3 and a smoke on a short. It's going to give a little bit of time for the CTs to work their way up, but Tudson with the Galil too quick to drop Amsalam from the pit position. And now MHL and Sen, they need to figure this out. The first kill, Tudson finds himself a second in the round, can't control the spray onto the third. Rowland puts down MHL on the 12th on the board. Map point established for the Old Boys on Wildcard Academy's map pick. Round 24 underway, and Wildcard Academy's money shot. Yuck. Old Boys looking prime and ready to take Wildcard Academy's map pick and tie this series up at 1. Whew, let's see what can get done. Op in the hands of Tudson. 2 kills in the previous round. Gives him the ability to buy the op in this. I think he might have actually got a drop for him. No helmets on 3 members of the CTs. It's going to make this M4 in Mihu's hands potent. The CTs, Wildcard Academy, going for a little bit of a fight here into water. There's nothing to be found, so they rotate themselves off. And now Hamsalam left alone in bathrooms. He hears nothing, he sees nothing. They just cleared monster, or cleared short, peered into monster. They see nothing. A resmoke of monster is going to give a chance for the Wildcard Academy to rotate off. And with 4 on this site of A, they should be ready for this. The deep smoke towards long is going to be an indication the pressure is coming. The rotate's on its way, so there's 4 members here. Utility starting to be deployed by the old boys to try to find this space and time. Trade utility coming back from the Wildcard Academy is good, and the patient small boys is even better. Donnie does capitalize on the trade kill for Rollin, but he's now stuck. And that's an indication of the rotate for the old boys. The kill from Mihu on the long player, or into the front bathrooms player to Donnie is good. So a 4 on 2. And now left alone to his own devices. The 6 and 17 Sen. Not having a fun time here over on the B site. He's about to get overwhelmed by 3 terrorists if he's not poised. He's going to get screwed here. MHL is with him. Nate lands right at his toes, finds the first, looks for more, sends 5-7, rings out, but Tudson's off too quick, and Tom puts down Sen. Old boys pick up the map, pick up Wildcard Academy, 13-11. We're coming right back. Here we are. I'm going to be sending us to a break here shortly. Let me set all of that up, and we'll be back with map 2 of Mirage. We're now tied up at 1-1. We'll see you guys shortly.
together, I can't run any faster. It will end before it starts. I'm up against a wall. How can it be growing taller? I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning in a vision. Hands up as you fall. Don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall. Spinning faster. Hands up as you fall. Don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall. Spinning faster.
13-11. Old Boys snatch the map pick of Wildcard Academy and bring this first map victory to a 1-1 series. This is ESEA Advanced Season 55 Grand Finals between Old Boys and Wildcard Academy. My name is Mr. Henry Batt, and I'm going to be bringing you the action, hopefully for the rest of the series, barring any crazy stunts. Now, Overpass, a little bit of a surprise map pick from Wildcard Academy. Maybe try to pull the wool over the Old Boys' eyes, and they do start their T-side campaign off strong with 6-round wins. But then they get over to the CT side. Confidence is a killer sometimes. Winning the pistol, losing the conversion. Some subsequent rounds after that. And Old Boys able to pick up the W. But now we move over to Mirage. This is the map pick of the Old Boys, the boxing ring of the Counter-Strike world. Both these teams should know all the protocols and have a few depths to their plays. Ninth round concluded. It should be Wildcard Academy starting on whatever side they want. It looks like they're going to pick the CT side. Let's jump on over and see what we can get done. Go through the player list here. Wildcard Academy, Donnie, MHL, Sen, Amsalam, Tripex. Old Boys, we got Goofy, Tom, Tudson, Rollin, and if I have to click to get to him, Mihu, number 11. CT setup, if I had to guess, 1, 1, 3, playing a retake towards the A site. Looks like a Molotov and a nade in the hand of Tripex. And the Old Boys look like they want to grab mid-control here. It is going to be a faster play from them. They get a smoke and a molly in the hands of Rollin as well, so maybe a little bit more of a refined approach to this. It is the 3-2 setup for the CT side. Smoke connector, molly potentially towards window. And they're going straight up towards catwalk, and this is going to be a lot for Tripex to deal with. Molotov's going to be well timed if they can get around this. Depth of the USP should be working. Good kill from Tripex to find the first. Next fight does happen in apartments. Donnie finds Tudson. Goofy opens up onto the site, finds himself 2 to the fight. The third at back site. Goofy does a great job to find it as well. Now the rotates are in. The jump through mid window is definitely being heard. Amsalam's heard as well. P2000 rings out, can't find the kill on the bomb. Overstaying is welcome in this position. That's me who he's got to rotate onto site. Drops the bomb for his teammate instead. And Amsalam kind of in a position here to stop this bomb plant if he moves quick enough. Has one connector to deal with. Pre-fires the stairs. Not much more he can do. Send through the bottom connector. Oh, finds a clothesline on a Goofy's face and into a 2-on-2 post plant. We go. Amsalam finds Rollin. And now they have to deal with the last who's in jungle. And this looks like Sen's position to deal with. Can't find it right away. And the more time that they tick away at this bomb, Mihu's chance to win this round increases. Finds the head of Amsalam, a double gush. And now Sen sticking this bomb Timer expiring. Rollin finding his way around the corner. The USP swing. Clock swing instead. Sen finds the kill with the USP. And with time on the clock, that's going to be a pistol round victory for the Wildcard Academy. A little bit of an awkward one. Mihu hanging out in jungle a little bit too long, tossing the bomb to his teammate. I think he should have just ran and planted, but a win is a win. Wildcard Academy, that's 3 pistol wins for them. Don't screw this up. Don't lose the second round conversion to the force buy of the old boys again, like you did 2 separate times on Overpass. They win the pistol, then they lose 3 rounds in a row 2 separate times, and kind of the linchpin for their Overpass. Sucks to suck. But nevertheless, into round 2 we go. Old boys do first force into this, a Galil and an AK-47. We're going to stick with Tom this round. See what that AK can get done. And he's going for a mid-window fight here, and the smoke deployed blocks MHL's ability to see. And as he spams that USP, Tom takes the space. Flashes over mid. The protocol to take this fight. Pretty good. Tom does trade information towards the short player and puts the NA in that HE nade towards short. But mid controlled by the T's nonetheless. CTs don't really need to fight into this. The M4 prime for 1. Donnie finds it onto Goofies. Looks for more, but the Galil swing from Rollin just too quick with it. Now the trade utility does come in. The fight back towards mid. Underway. Tom and Rollin capitalize for a couple. Amsalam looks for more. Can't control the connector spray. Actually, he does find 2, but Tom finds the final kill onto Amsalam. And that's a first round on the board. Another little slip from the Wildcard Academy on these conversion rounds. Getting a little too cheeky in towards mid. Attack timeout immediately called from the CT side. And they're probably not too happy with that. They did the same thing, both T and CT side on Overpass. This next round realistically should go the old boys' way because it's going to be a force from the CT side of Wildcard Academy. And if they can deal with this force, they get a free round after that. And old boys should be up to 3 just like that off of the second round force. Seemed like Wildcard Academy had a little bit of a play there. The double push into mid. Lots of util to take those fights. A little bit of a shaky setup from them, though. And old boys capitalize on it. Rollin gets the first pick onto the catwalk to give them the space. But now AKs, tons of utility, and the M4. And they're just going straight for this mid fight. Desert Eagle from Donnie drops Mihu, who was ahead of the mid window smoke, and gets absolutely punished for it. Now Tripex over towards B. Gonna mantle up. Get himself up close and personal. Clear of the A ramp, comes in. Sen sees nothing. I don't know why he's looking away. He should be walking backwards, at least looking at the ramp. Give himself a chance. But now his job is jiggle a ramp. I don't know if footsies were spotted there by Goofy. The depth of Sen probably not spotted. And they rotate back towards the B site. Very reminiscent of how a pistol round should be set up. Or the meta to have it set up, I should say. Are they trying to boost into mid window? They totally are. Tom looking for the fight for the murder hole. Drops down from this boost from underpass. And now the smoke at A ramp deployed by Tom. Or by Sen, sorry. Indication of connector fight kind of coming their way. They rotate from Wildcard Academy. Chomped down onto hard. Donnie says, no. I'm staying over here. Cat control for the T's. They're looking for depth here. There's this B site push. Rollin opens up with 2 and says, grab the bomb. Let us commence onto this B site. And Wildcard say, nay. Good kill for Sen from top connector. Going to get himself an AK-47. And this is into a 3-on-3. This is completely winnable for Wildcard Academy. A little bit of a fake being thrown by Goofy towards the A site with Molly to sandwich. But B site is the apple of the eye for the old boys. Indication of 2 there by the bomb being planted, the flash being tossed out. They just have 1 to deal with on the rotate, so they need to be quick about this Wildcard Academy. And they're kind of fucking around a little bit. They could have been on site a little bit quicker based on that Molotov from ramp. They could have had 3-on-2. But instead, they kind of squander that. Goofy a little bit slow towards this top mid flank while the rest of the CTs pour out onto site. Get right position. Now noted. Back site not taken care of. Rollin does find a 3rd with that AK. Looking for more, and he's being pressed upon MHL. Good for it. But Goofy's finds the last 2 on his perfect time. Cat flank that I was just scrutinizing. Because the bomb was not planted for him. The bomb was right here. And Goofy's Molotov's here. Well, there's 2 CTs here and 1 here. His rotate came down short, which doesn't really give him a chance to stop the bomb plant or the bomb defuse, but it doesn't matter. Old boys find themselves a 2nd on their map pick of Mirage, and they're right back into this best of 5 competition. Easy little A-site execute coming in. A little bit of a mid feint. Of course, I'm kicked out of the game. Give me a second to jump right back into this. We're going. There we go. No, come on, face it. Come on. Every time this happens, yeah, there we go. Let's go back to the cam. Y'all don't need to see my cats. What's up, dogs? I gotta reload the game, jump back into it. Counter-Strike things. I bet you there's a Steam update or a Counter-Strike update. Every single one of them is gonna get kicked out. That's all right. Counter-Strike's loading up. My hands are with God right now. Load Counter-Strike. Don't die on me again. We don't care about the Steam updates. Spectating game. Let's go back on a Mirage. I feel like Old Boys cleaned that one up. They definitely did, and they did it extremely well. The quick little execute onto the A site. Give them a third round. But we're back right into this game quickly. Facing having some issues as per usual, kicking the spectators out. Looks like Old Boys want to do the same thing. They want to hit towards this A site, but they're changing their mind a little bit here. You can see on the minimap the rotation out. Sen in a pretty advanced position. They like to Molotov this, though. We saw Mihu throw this 2 separate rounds in a row. Right before we got kicked out, the Molotov landed here. And Mihu from deep ramp is probably going to do the same piece of utility, because why would he not? The execute towards A-site underway. Molotovs and smokes deployed. Flashes out. Spam from Palace is good. Tutson puts down Sen. And now left at that ticket boot position with the Dragon Lore. MHL finds his first. Looking for more out of the Palace position. Flash through the smoke, goes Amsalam, finds his first. Goofy's pressing the CT spawn position, finds himself a second kill. Tripex too quick on it, and now Tudson left alone in a very winnable 1v2. He slings out a Palace position, definitely noted. Can't make noise on this descent, he does. Information gained and a swing from the stairs position. Donnie can't capitalize, but distance being closed. Tripex finds a new position towards triple. They're now closing this distance, getting up nice and personal with him, and the FAMAS puts him down, up to be saved in CT spawn. Second round on the board for Wildcard Academy, and they're going to feel pretty good about that on the CT side of Old Boys map pick of Mirage. If you are just joining, this is map number 2 of the ESEA Advanced Season 55 Grand Finals for the European region between Wildcard Academy and Old Boys. Map 1, Overpass. Wildcard Academy's pick. Old Boys win it 13-11. Mirage map number 2. Donnie gets himself up towards ladder room quite quickly, looking for a fight towards mid. It's going to be a hard fight for him to try to take here. Utility raining in, forcing him off location. And a deep palace or deep apartment smoke is going to give Goofy something to think about. He now can't leave this location, especially as the util comes raining through. But an A-side execute for the Old Boys on the cards again. They know Sen's playing up nice and close with this MP9. Shadow advantage, but it doesn't matter. Tutson finds the first. AK from Rollin puts down Sen, and that's an open A site. Donnie on the rotate. He's getting himself over to ticket booth, but I suggest a save, my friend. You got no money. Poke and prod, find yourself one, but this is not a location that the Old Boys are just going to not look at. Of course I say that, and they don't. Tom runs sideways across the opening between second and triple and gets rocked for it. Tutson finds himself a third on the round with the op, and he's looking to find the last. Tripex 1-on-4. He did a 1-on-3 over on Overpass. This is possible. No round is out of the question, but Mihu says, I say nay, nay. And a fourth goes on the board for the Old Boys, who are now in control of T-side Mirage. Old Boys playing a pretty good game here. They're just smoking window. They're smoking top mid, and they're flashing. Those flashes come in from 2 locations, and there's depth to them. Pow, pow, pow. That's giving the illusion that mid is being taken over. This is forcing a smoke here from the short player, or from the connector player, while the rest of the team kind of just stack towards the A site and execute. They're not really playing a deep kind of game here, the old boys. They're just saying, let's go back to what works. And now they know they're going against USPs. Mihu spots the first one in mid-window, changes the protocol, throws a Molotov, expects the swing, holds mid-window, finds himself the first. The Molotov to cover. Donnie does find one with the Desert Eagle, but it does not matter. Tom and Mihu put down all 5, a full house between the two of them, and a 5th on the board for the old boys. Again, Wildcard Academy still trying things, still looking for those fights. The jiggle in mid-window that gets spotted out. They then realize what's about to happen. And you can see that Mihu falls back. A line in the sand is drawn, and they say fight towards connector. And the old boys do. But now MHL, mid-window spawn. I won't play window anymore. Finds himself in this position, not ahead of the smoke. Needs to be erected nonetheless. Hudson up from high, looking down towards connector. Ain't going to find anything. Tom takes a little chip damage towards A ramp, but they're out immediately. A single flash and a smoke towards A ramp to put out the Molotov to keep the defenders of A site tucked tight. And mid control, almost firmly in the command of the old boys. But Donnie boosted up on bricks here. Position spotted. Great clear from Rowland. Experience really showing. The double cat play just too good. Boom from that nade from Mihu. Tripex finds himself more. Another fight towards connector is commencing, and I'm missing it all. 3-on-2 all of a sudden. Wildcard Academy find themselves up a man to the good. And Sen needs to play patient on A site. He is about to get wrapped. He has late support from jungle, but he gets himself to double with the perfect time. Finds nothing. Goofy's great timing out of Palace to open up. Molly into jungle. Smoke into connector. This is an open A site. Tom to plant. He's planting relatively open. He has the time to do this. Goofy's in Palace. Only one nade to his name, but the retake, it's going to be guns. Opt to ring out for spawn. Shooting towards nothingness. MHL trying to find a cheeky little wall bang. Ain't going to find nothing for his troubles, though. And this is going to be a very difficult post plant right now. Tom thinking it's a little bit of a fake here. Spots the head of one. Molotov to land at his feet, but he's a little bit ahead of it, but it does not matter. Spray from Goofy's is good. Into a one-on-one he goes. Absalem taps the bomb a second time. Goofy's looked like he was about to fight into it, but now he is. CC's off the bomb. Plays the 1v1 to perfection. And Goofy's finds himself a triple and a 6th on the board for the old boys. Wildcard Academy, not looking too strong right now. This is CT's side, Mirage. Old boy's not really doing anything too complicated either. It's just a mid-window smoke. Double mid-window smoke. Don't know if that was absolutely necessary, but here's the change of play. Double lower push. This is Sen with MHL, and a great deagle from Tripex opens up, and now pressure from that 5-7. Tripex finds himself a second, pushing through the apartments. And this should be a little bit of a speed up from the old boys towards mid. Grab connector control, but guns to be picked up. And now into a 4-on-3. CT's on A site have heard no pressure, so they're going to try to re-clear towards ramp. If they gain this space, that's great information knowledge, but the fight on Cat goes Rowland's way. Finds himself an easy 1v1 to drop MHL. Now the op to be picked up by Tripex has been noted. They must have known this all along because of the pressure put on by the CTs from underpass and B-apps. And it was a great little play from them. But now are the old boys going to be ready for this T-spawn flank? They need to speed up, though. If Wildcard Academy are able to sniff out the fact that they're going towards B, that pinch is going to be there. Tripex to hold from market towards the get-right position. But Rowland too wise to his tricks. I think he might have spotted the barrel. Let's see Rowland clear this position out. Walking back on the site. Not good enough for it. Tripex finds one. Falls back to the safety of market. And now the flank through apps. Donnie looking for it. Donnie trying to find a great time. Tripex find himself a 4th on the round. Let's stick with this guy. Maybe he puts full ace down on an eco round. Desert Eagles to boot. He does. I only get one of the kills capitalized on the camera, but Tripex 2, Desert Eagle 3, AK kills, and ace to put a 3rd on the board for Wildcard Academy, saying, boys, we're not out of this yet. The slow starter over on Overpass found himself a 1v3 to get right back into the game and almost topped the charts for the Wildcard Academy side. Wasn't enough to get the victory, but he's saying, boys, come on. Let's just make a quick little play. We can overwhelm the old boys who are only 2 seasons deep playing together. The old boys in sweep of ESCA entry season 54 find themselves in advance right away. 15-0-7-0 in the playoffs of entry. And now in the grand finals of advance. So quite the speedy move from these teams. But MHL and Sen open up for the good towards A ramp and thwart the early A execute from the Old Boys, breaking their economy. And now into a 5-on-3. Wildcard Academy, don't have to do anything. Set yourselves up for a retake or a post plant on one of the sites. You don't have to do much. Asalam seems like he wants to do that. But Sen, still playing close towards ramp. He's going to get a little bit of a shadow advantage. That shouldn't be what he's watching. He should be watching close, though. Sees the shadow. Drops the Molotov. That played for him. Smoke as well. Now, this is going to be a terribly hard site to pop open. There's only 2 CTs here. Molotov going to stop the advance from the Palace position and indicated not. Tom walks to his demise. Made to land on Sen's head, but it ain't good enough. Mihu does respond with one, but closing the gap and closing the distance here is the hero of the round. Previous Tripex takes his time, rocks Rollin, and now left alone in a 1-on-4. Undoable 1-on-4. Wildcard Academy up to 4. Beautiful work for them. And they're really showing why their CT side has legs to it. They lose a couple of rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row, 2 separate times. Now they're finding back-to-back rounds off of the heroics of Tripex. And their economy starts to boom. 3 AKs to move over into this round. And Old Boys onto a save. So Wildcard Academy really closing the gap. Looking for that 6-6 half that they had over on overpass that they kind of fumbled with. But this is where Old Boys get deadly. Tudson with the Desert Eagle. We saw him get a few already with this same weapon. We saw him on overpass as well with the Desert Eagle. The speed in which the Old Boys can move in this position, rather deadly, and Wildcard Academy seem to fumble against the low purchase. Now Amsalam for the fights. MHL does find the first. You have to turn and take these fights. Amsalam finds the first. Donnie capitalizes on a second, but underpass push is good for Tom. Mihu does find himself one as well. Only 2 dead on the CT side, and they clean it up to put a 5th on the board. Well done. Old Boys back to the purchase this round. It's not going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to be enough utility to open up to get a default going, but they're going to have to find an opening fight. So Wildcard Academy shouldn't be gifting them anything too soon. Allow their T-side utility to work. Let them gain the space. Play the late round retake as they go to execute onto a site, and you should be good for a 6 Wildcard Academy. Double off and play as well. Trifec's going to post up on the B site with this thing. And he might get some early play. Amsalam mantles across, gets himself onto Cat pretty quickly, and has support. MHL posted and lower. Double swing to come in, not good enough. The double scope puts Tudson to the ground. And a 5-on-4 early, and the lack of util from the Old Boys side. They're not happy about this. MHL does find a second on a Mihu. Amsalam does drop Rollin. Now Goofy's waiting for the smoke to fade in Palace. He's been here a few times, but there's not really much he can gain from this position. MHL missed the timing of him mantling out or walking out of Palace. He falls out on the site, catches on the cross though, and now left alone in a 1-on-4 is Tom. I don't think he has legs for this. That's 6 on the board for Wildcard Academy, and a great recovery from a slow starter CT side Mirage. Switch to the sides. Old Boys now onto the CT side. This is what they were looking for. Wildcard Academy won the faux knife round because it was Old Boys map pick. So they get to start on the CT side. Now, what's the setup from the Old Boys going to be? I tried to have this play forced. Maybe they'll do so. 1 ticket booth, 1 mid jiggling, playing the connector cross, 3 on the B site. CT setups are changing every single day. Wildcard Academy banking on that, and they're going to be going fast towards the A ramp. This is Rollin to deal with the first. He is posted. The triple setup on the A site is going to be good. Spotted Tudson. Great 1-tap to drop MHL. That's not how we wanted to start the second half. And Rollin from the triple box. Going to have support now. CT's rotating in. 2 to watch Palace. They block that connector smokes. This is going to be an open runway for some kills for the CTs. Rollin not needing to swing just yet. Finds the back of the head of Amsalam after Tom deals with Donnie. Now left alone in 2-on-5. And both positions of these T's noted. Sen gets dealt with. Tripex finds Mihu towards ticket booth. But now they're closing the distance, and it doesn't matter. Tom finds a second. And the 45 cal to the top of the skull. Tripex puts a 7th on the board for Wildcard, or for Old Boys. All right, Old Boys, first pistol over 2 maps. You converted round 2 all 3 times. Wildcard Academy, back to the drawing board now. Looks like the force is going to come in. No bomb plant. surprised that they're going to do this. They're going to be going up against the helmeted M4s of the Old Boys. Mihu, the only one in the MP9, gets himself a little utility. He's going to be playing towards A ramp, and this is a good call from him. Farming money, MP9. Finds the first, looks for more. He realizes he's about to get pressured, so he smokes off the position. But they're advancing through. Mihu has support. Rollin finds one. Tech9 rings for another, but now in front of the edge of the smoke. Mihu deals with the next. MHL finds one, but left alone now. Towards ramp is Mihu through the edge of the smoke. Finds Amsalam, and SN left alone. 1-on-4. Tech9. Awkward position for him, but it's noted that he can be anywhere. And you can see the depth of this setup. They don't want to give anything away on the Old Boys side. Looking for a clean 8th. Tom maybe a little wary about the B side, and he's calling. Can he be towards B? And they're like, no. This guy got through. We heard his footsteps. They are clearing. Position now noted. Spam through the triple box. There's nothing Sen can do. It's all done and dusted. An 8th on the board for the Old Boys. And finally, a team wins a pistol and converts it. And with 4 alive, bringing those rifles over into the next, the economy for the Old Boys is going to start going up. This should be a 9th for them on the board. A little bit of a putt round for them. Just against Glocks. Single Desert Eagle upgrade so far for Sen. We saw what he could do with this on the CT side. We saw what Tripex could do with this on the CT side. I'm surprised they haven't given him the rock. But Wildcard Academy back towards the A-ramp push. It's just Glocks. A couple of flashes from Tripex. And all alone at triple is Mihu. The rotate will come in. That'll be Rowlin. Old Boys, the old heads over here from the Polish squad. Setting up for something they've probably done 1,000 times. Util reigns in. Mihu fully blinded off. Position now noted. Looks for the fights. Cleans up the kill from Palace. Has more crossing the site, but the rotate in from Tom just too beautifully quick. 10 HP taken on the CT side. Wildcard Academy falter. But now the purchase does come back in. MHL directly onto the big green. And Old Boys looking to pick up their map pick. Take a little bit of an advantage in this grand finals. M4s on the CT side. Lack of kits is a little bit concerning. Rollin and Mihu, the connector and A-site player. Realistically, you want to play a retake, you want to be an anchor, you should have a kit. And the solo play for Mihu up towards lower ramp is, I don't want to say unadvised, but it's a beautiful time to play by him. This hasn't been done yet. He's just walked through nothingness. He's going to hear the pitter-patter of most towards top. Top mid, that is. And look at this time. The rest of his teammates just delaying the inevitable with all this utility landing on the heads of Wildcard Academy. A big dunk nade into the underpass. Misses its mark just slightly, but beautiful timing for him. He gets dealt with, though. Sen finds the timing from the Palace lurk and says, boys, that's the A-site push. What more could they possibly have over here? And Donnie left to investigate. He's going to slink through this smoke, gets himself onto the stairs position. And when he finds nothing on a site, he's going to say, boys, it's open for the taking. Wins the fight against Tudson, who swings to his demise. Now Rollin, deep in jungle, does capitalize on one in return, but the rest of the Wildcard Academy rotating their way over towards the A site. Smoke should come out here shortly. I only see one on MHL and one on Tripex. And Connector now cleared. So a 3-on-3. Smoke to land towards jungle position. Util traded back and forth. UT's got to push through this molly. Said too quick with it. And all of a sudden from a 3-on-3, Tom is left alone in a 1-on-3. He's pushing through the jungle smoke. Can't capitalize on the first. Tripex finds himself the first kill of the round. Now a little bit of a BM play by him, but Wildcard Academy strike back on their first gun round of the second half. That's how Mirage goes. Win the opening fights. A couple of little missteps. Claw it right back. Life's almost too easy at that point. Old Boys on 9, but their money booming. We can see how they did it. Look at this. Only 2 surviving, or 2 dying over 3 rounds. They're going to be able to buy into this and potentially even into the next. Let's see the response from Wildcard Academy. Again, Mihu left alone towards the A site. Send to pop out a Palace on a good timing here, but the connector fight underway. Chunky nade, more than 100 damage displayed or deployed by Rollin with that one grenade, but it's too quick. Donnie doesn't care. He says, I do not care for you. Finds himself a second on the Tom. Realizes the boost is placed. Takes out Goofy as well. Tudson responds with 2 with the op, and now he's left alone towards ramp, and Wildcard Academy overwhelming the A site. A good response with a boom from Tudson onto Tripex. The position is now noted. Smokes out the Molotov, giving an indication that that might be his position. But it doesn't matter. A smoke on the center of sight. Amsterdam going to be able to plant. Hudson has a chance to spam through this, but it doesn't matter. 2-on-1 now. Both members of Wildcard Academy put low by that nade earlier in the round from Rollin, lower connector. And they're relatively spread out. They can play a little bit of ping pong off of each other to take this fight. One shoots, the other swings, vice versa. But they have to make Hudson make the first move. And this first move is to save. And as he runs away, let's listen. Donnie hears it. Donnie says, he's out there, bruh. He is totally out. This is a chance for Amsterdam, I was going to say, to upgrade to the AK-47 or upgrade to the AWP. Maybe find himself a couple of pieces of utility. That's all she wrote. An 8th on the board for Wildcard Academy, and they're suturing up this gap quite nicely. Economy on the CT side. Not really in the force buy territory. Tudson might be able to drop one. I doubt it. 2,400 loss bonus. He can drop $2,100 worth, and there's that tack timeout from the old boys. Just taking a breath. Whew. Boys, what else can we do here? We continuously hit the A site. We're getting the opening picks. We can get ourselves to connector by 1:30 on the clock and own all of this space. How can we not retake these guys? How are Wildcard Academy? How's Donnie getting 3 from connector with 44 HP? This is a little bit of a conversation the CT side's having, but a reinvestment comes in. M4 to be purchased by Tom. Tudson to keep the op. M4 dropped to Mihu. And now will Wildcard Academy be ready for this forced purchase? And it's a pretty strong purchase back. MP9's M4 and the op. And a pretty strong amount of util. MHL just wants to take this fight towards mid. He doesn't care. Boost over top. Sees nothing in lower connector. Peers over the top of the smoke, but the fight in return not really coming either. Oh, this is a powerful fight here. Sen, you need to be careful. You have Tudson with the op on the opposite angle. Don't do anything overzealous here. And this is the fight that's going to make or break the round. If Tudson leaves this position, scopes the op. As soon as that information gets passed over from Sen to the rest of their team, they're going to be able to open up towards the B site because they're going to realize that op rotation is going to be late. They're probably playing 3 here on A site, jungle, and A ramp. But as we sit patiently waiting for this fight to erupt, utility just continuously gets traded across the map. And I'm going to keep my eye up there at the minimap to see what time that fight is going to happen. Slipping through the connector smoke. Shoulder spotted. Amslam gets shot in the back by Tom. And there's a response. Donnie good onto Rowland, who pushed through that lower mid smoke. But they're going back towards the A site. Donnie's going to be a little bit late on this. Tom rotating into this position. The op from Tudson still posted, so he has to have support from Mihu, who's not playing on the default position. A site under contention. Fight coming in. Both members moving at the same time. That was awkward. Tudson does find the kill, though, and closes that gap. Falls back onto the A site. While that's happening, the op from MHL misses his opportunity to clean up the op of Tudson and gets a flash to his face instead. Side of the op from Tudson is Mihu rotating out. Tudson does find himself a second. Mihu tabs away at MHL. Donnie does find one in connector, but it might be too little too late. 10 seconds on the clock, and he's got to get himself out of there, and now they're chasing him. Mihu's looking for this next fight, but he can't die either. The money is broken on the CT side. You don't want to have the next round 2 surviving, but Goofy's capitalizing with the footsteps from Mihu in connector. Closes the gap and puts double digits on the board for the old boys. Let's read this economy. If you're seeing this, you know that it's probably going to be a save going into this round with attack timeout coming in. Old boys have some more information to work with. Their money's not doing great either, but they need 11 on the board desperately here. Because if they lose this round, they're going to be sent to the dumps, and that's a chance for Wildcard Academy to really close this gap and potentially even take the lead. Because it might be a force buy in the next if old boys are unsuccessful in this round. So they need to really take their time on this one. They need to not squander this chance. And what I mean by that is if old boys lose this round, their money's broken. But it's a force buy broken. So they're going to have to force into the next because 2 players will be on $1,500, $1,600, which means $1,600 and $1,900. You're not buying into the next. So Wildcard Academy wins this round. They're at 9. They beat back the force buy of the old boys. They're at 10. Old boys are then on a save. Wildcard Academy are on 11. But vice versa as well. If old boys win this, they could be up to 12 because the money is going to be shite on the Wildcard Academy side. But back to what they normally do. Send into Palace, smokes towards top mid, flashes. Some information to be gained from the CT side, but No trades just yet. No kills just yet. Just posture, utility, goofies. Not really having a great time over towards B site. He's getting a lot of kills on the rotates in, but no one's really pressuring towards him. No one's really giving him the fights. That's a chunky nade. Donnie down to 44. Second time in this half. Second time in 3 rounds. He takes a nade to the lips. And now they're being crushed by utility. Rollin capitalizes on that kill. Try to find a dunk nade onto Rollin. Wait, sorry, Blaker. Boom! And now a lurk smoke out the A ramp. This is a change for Wildcard Academy to get themselves into a position of success. Spray through the smoke. Amslam drops Mihu. Maybe a little bit of a misplay by him, but now Tudson in connector. Top connector, jungle location. Looking for the fight, and it's good. Not good enough. Tripex drops him. Tom responds with one of the cross towards the A site. The AK sprays from Tripex to find himself a double. Left into a one-on-one, low HP. Spot the location of Goofy, but Goofy swing with the high HP puts him down in an 11th on the board for the CT side of Old Boys, and they're looking to pick up their map pick to put them at 2-1 in this series over Wildcard Academy. Oh my god, the money on Wildcard is broken. That lurk smoke towards A ramp just gave up the goose, but it seemed like it was a pretty good smoke. The way it landed, like this, it kind of gave an angle here. That's a terrible straight line. An angle here to see the player into CT spawn, and as Mihu kind of spammed into the smoke, I guess he was more over here. When Mihu spammed into the smoke, he couldn't see anything, but the T's on the opposite side, they could. They put him down, they get themselves onto site, but Crossfire and Jungle, too strong. Old Boys up to 11. Forced by coming in for Wildcard Academy. They're looking to win this match out. If they lose this round, it's 2,900 loss bonus. And they're in the dumps. Old Boys might be up 2-1. Not dropping a map just yet. Round 20 underway. No op in the hands of Tudson this round. He's got the kit. He's got some utility. He is still playing towards mid. And a chunky nade towards top mid. Not really avoided. Actually avoided beautifully by Tripex. Only 2 HP damage. But still, a spam commences towards top mid. Rollin has overstayed his welcome a few times in this position. Doesn't spot any on the cross. One more chip damage point to Tripex as well with the nade. And a clear of A ramp does come in. They clear this position. Resmoke of Connector and Cat gives space for Wildcard Academy to work with, but the next 20 seconds is going to be just posturing util from the Old Boys, trying to chip away at the HP of Wildcard, trying to figure out what kind of buy they're on this round as well. I'm not sure they've heard much of anything ring out. Maybe a single Tech 9. Doesn't always indicate a force buy, though. Boost onto Catwalk. Will Tom be ready for this? They dismantle towards lower mid, so he doesn't have to be ready for anything anymore. Util forces him off Catwalk. He's the only defender on B site. So this is good news for the Old Boys as they work their way up towards A ramp. Tudson spots the pressure, gets himself out. The jungle fight is good. Rollin finds one, trades effective. Tom gets a second. The crossfire from jungle and under Palace is even better. Goofies finds himself a double, but Sen with the Desert Eagle responds right back in kind. Now he has Tom and Tudson to deal with. One at ticket, one at bottom stairs. And they're making him make the first move as he swings out. Desert Eagle lands 2 shots, but not good enough. Tudson swings and puts a 12th on the board and map point for the Old Boys. They have 4 chances to close out their map pick and send us to Nuke, which is Wildcard Academy's strongest map. So we could be going the distance here today, folks. Wildcard Academy need to come into this and win 2 maps in this best of 5 to close out the series. Old Boys need to win 3. They've already won 1. Now they're looking for a second. Knocking on the door of that second right now are Old Boys. They're going up against Galil's, a Tech 9, and a Scout. On the Wildcard Academy side, this is looking like curtains. Spam of the smoke. Rollin finds the first. He's been doing this every single round from Connector. Finally capitalizes in mid-window in the round that they need, but Tom overextending, losing to the 5.56. Tudson does respond to the pressure up A ramp from Sen, and I think Wildcard Academy have subsided and said, listen, let's just go over to Nuke. Scout rings out, finds a kill. Rollin trades better though, and now MHL stuck, finds himself one with the techie, but that's all she wrote. Old Boys find themselves up 13-8, and now it's 2-1. Old Boys finding their stride. They did lose earlier to Wildcard Academy in playoffs, a quick 2-0. That was a 13-7 and 13-3. That 13-3 happened on Nuke, so what could the Old Boys learn? We're about to find out. We'll be right back with that. It'll be Nuke. See you in a minute. We're back. Map 4 about to commence. We saw 2 maps so far. I know 2 and 4 are quite a distance apart. 3's in the middle, but we saw Overpass, the map pick of Wildcard Academy, trying to pull a quick one over the eyes of the Old Boys, but they said nay, nay. 13-11. Old Boys win map number 1, tying the series up 1-1. We then go on to Old Boys map pick of Mirage, and well, they ended up dominating Wildcard Academy to take the lead in this series. And if you're wondering, how are we 2 maps in and both teams have a score? Well, Wildcard Academy worked their way through the upper bracket of the advanced playoffs. They get a best of 1 victory over them so far. So Wildcard Academy, one to the good. Old Boys have now won Overpass and Mirage. We're going to be going on to Nuke. It's going to be starting very shortly. All 10 players, I think, are in the server. It says the game has started, but we're 2 minutes and 20 seconds behind. So we're going to be jumping over. I'll get you into the game. We can talk about Nuke just a little bit, and we can see what we can learn from there. Let's see what we got. If you are new to Counter-Strike and you've never seen Nuke before, Astralis have created a play. You can throw from here, 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 you can throw from here. And what you're looking to do is throw a wall of smokes. These smokes connect red bin and secret. There's a second wall you can throw. That'll look like this. Or this will be number 1. And number 2 here with a top mini smoke, creating a wall, or creating a wall that the terrorists then take advantage of. If they get themselves down into secret, there's going to be a rotate from the B side. They're going to hit this little vent. They're going to get themselves down in secret. Now you can't see secret on this screen. You can see it over here on the mini map. They get themselves into this back halls here and potentially jump spot from the back left corner or even by double doors. If this comes to fruition and the CTs are down and lower and the Ts are able to capitalize and get themselves a kill anywhere on the map, they can collapse onto the A site quite quickly. The CT defense is going to consist of 1 towards ramp, 1 top hut, 1 back site, but usually that's the same player. They rotate towards back site if they feel the pressure. Or some teams like playing that floor player, the hut player, the mini player, the outside player, and the back site or ramp player. The more traditional Counter-Strike is you have 1 ramp rotator who fills all these positions as well as gets himself into heaven. You have 1 ramp player who is probably their first rotation down into lower. You have the hut player, you have a mini player, and you have an outside player. Now that outside player can play pretty much anywhere they want in any of these locations to gain information on the outside. It's all a game of rotations. This mini player might be the rotate down lower, the hut player might be the rotate down lower. If ramp does become the rotate down lower, the heaven rotator, the outside double up, becomes the ramp player, which means the outside player has to play behind big box, double up with his mini player. It's a very complicated map, but at the same time it's very easy because the stimuli provided by the Ts via outside smokes, realistically, that's what you're waiting for. You see this wall of smokes plume outside that fills this entire gap right here. You need to take advantage of that by either popping them open as the CTs or rotating down into lower. I suggest popping them open first to try to gain information, but don't do anything too crazy. You overextend outside, you lose that fight, you put yourself in a 5v4, it's gonna suck. Both these teams very execute heavy as well, so if you ever see the CTs on just USPs outside of the pistol round, realistically the Ts should, I say should, be executing. But this is gonna be another faux knife round. Old Boys should win this one. They get to pick the side they want to start on. It's gonna be the CT side. 99 out of 100 times you're going to pick the CT side. 999 times out of 1,000 you're going to pick the CT side at any high level of competition. CT side has advantages, of course. This little choke point right here, this little choke point right here, this little choke point right here are the only ways to get yourself onto the site. Unless, with numbers, you take outside and you can wrap. Get yourself in. You get yourself down into lower, you can wrap towards the B site. But all of this information, the outside take is usually known by the CTs. You can't just cross outside without the wall of smokes, and if you do, there's protocols in play. But knife round done and dusted with, waiting for the stay or swap. Old Boys select the exclamation mark stay and put themselves onto the CT side. Underway. Did I update my chart? Yes, I did. Wildcard Academy 1, Old Boys 2. This is ESEA Advanced Season 55. European Grand Finals. Old Boys coming in as the underdog. They lost Wildcard Academy in the upper bracket finals, putting Wildcard Academy into the finals. And the Old Boys, they had to win a couple more matches down in the lower bracket to get themselves into this position. They do it just fine. But now onto the CT side they go. Maybe a little bit of a faster play up towards the A side. Goofy to deal with the short play, or the squeaky play. The backside hold is good. Tom elected not to get on top hut, and he gets punished for it. Bomb to get planted now. Donnie and Sen open up. And now Rollin and Mihu left alone. Mihu, that player, rotating onto the site. Can't capitalize quickly onto the kill towards empty vent, but finally does it. Mihu does get one into Asalam. Finds himself in a fight a second towards a single door, but MHL with the Glock deals with it. And now Mihu walking into the angle. It finds the kill. The low HP of Donnie gets dealt with as well. And Mihu finds the opening round for the side of Old Boys with a quick 3K. A 1v2 for him after dealing with that first person at the single vent. And a beautiful way to start the CT side campaign off right. Wildcard Academy fumble at the doorstep. But now in classic fashion, based on this, Wildcard Academy won 3 pistol rounds. They then lost 3 converting rounds. Old Boys finally win a CT pistol round on Mirage. And then they capitalize with a streak of rounds. Can they find themselves a second here heavy rifle investment? I would have expected maybe more SMGs, maybe a kit. But the force buy does come back in for the T side. The bomb plant giving them the 3 Galeals, the Scout, and the Tech 9. And they're going for a fast outside play. And Rowland to deal with this. That's a hard fight for him to take. 3 members swinging at him. Tom looking to do more. The flash is beautiful. Spray control not quite there. Finds himself 1 and a boatload of damage on the Tripex. And they have to deal with this rotate down into the lower. There are 2 CTs here to deal with. This is Tudson and Goofy's. And they do find the first 2. That rotate, thanks part and partial to the footsteps of the outside players. Knowing that Tom was still alive in Mini, this allowed that to happen. This round's over with. We see Rowland take the fight from here. He spots multiple crossing. The support for Mini spots more. The ramp rotate goes down. The hut drop gets himself into lower. And they double up over here on the mini map. Left and right side. Holding down the fight. Now the bomb deep in that secret position. Trying to find the fight and connect. Oh, and Ven Sen does do it. He flashes and drops. Hits himself with it just a little bit. Finds the spray onto Tudson with 40 seconds to go. This 1v4. Looking absolutely doable for Sen. He has the M4 reloaded head armor, 61 HP. But he's going against the Galil of Goofy's primed and ready. Now, this is a very clearable position for Sen. Does he have the wherewithal to be here at time expiring? Oh my god, I thought he was going to get it, but Goofy's too quick with the Galil. Puts him down in the second round on the board for the CT side. And that was a scary second round, a 1v4. Sen almost capitalizes on it, but the Old Boys off to a strong start on their CT side campaign of Nuke. If you are just joining me, thanks for being here. If you've been here the whole time, thanks for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm trying to have some fun. Let me know if I can do anything better. Let me know if I need to turn my mic up, turn the game volume up. I'm open to criticism. Tell me I suck. I'll just work harder because that's how it works. Now, Tudson, I'm not a fan of this. The op purchase in the 3rd round, especially when you know they're going to be on a little bit of a save. He is posted at a good distance, but getting overwhelmed quickly might be a demise for him. He does have support in Rollin playing close with him. But as he misses that shot outside, the mini wrap becomes more and more apparent. Now Rowland missing an awkward timing outside. There are 3 players posted up looking for the next set of fights. What can Rowland get done here? Sen finds the first. Rowland does respond. Doesn't see anything more outside, so a little bit of a reset from Wildcard Academy, and they're doing a pretty good job to milk the utility out of the CT side. Mihu's position at ramp. A strong one, but he could get stuck between that ramp. He drops Tripex, but takes a little bit of damage for his troubles. It's just a Glock to the shoulder. It does not mean much. And now Goofy's is going to have the double prong attack. Mini swing or squeaky swing is good for the... Nothing. Goofy's puts all 3 down. I figured MHL was going to be able to overwhelm him there. And up towards the vents, they're moving pretty quick with the MP9, but Goofy's too quick with it. Spray control on point, and Old Boys up to 3. The op from Tudson doesn't get much action in the previous round. Spots, supports, and holds outside, but he's going to have a chance now. He's got the good spawn towards Big Garage. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run himself all the way over to Secret, but it doesn't look like he wants to do that. Just drop a utility for his teammates. He's going to get the post on ramp. And the outside utility looks pretty strong. Rollin throwing a Molotov, slowing down that push, but Donnie doesn't seem to give a damn. That outside wall smokes us up. Donnie ahead of the molly. The smoke gets popped open. The mini fight towards back gray doesn't go anybody's way just yet. Rollin spots ahead of one. Knows there's more outside. So he calls for support from Goofy's. MHL boosted up on the red bin. Does find Rollin behind back gray. So that's an opening, but the rotates you can see already down in lower. Hudson's not going to have anything to deal with here for quite some time. A resmoke, a squeaky door comes in. And Goofy's, he could get wrapped, so he's going to get reboosted, or he's going to boost one back up into heaven. This is a great call. They need the support towards ramp and towards the outside position. But that mini wrap still an absolute threat, so Goofy's going to get himself off. Should fall the back sight. But that's information gained. And Sen, not want to play his hand too early. No way he walks into this. Okay, good. I was going to say, Goofy's, don't walk in to Hut. This is not the play. You're in a 4-on-3. You don't really need info gain. You know where they are. Goofy's for the first. Looks for more towards Mini. Or towards Hut. Can't find it though. Support from Heavens coming in. Good flash. Self-flash to get himself into the position. But can't find anything on the play. Molly's to push them back into Heaven. In fact, push them forward. Donnie gets the kill onto Michu with the Molotov. Tripex to support. And now left alone in a 1-on-4 op in hands. It hasn't rung out this round just yet. It rang out the round prior, so this should be communicated. Wildcard Academy finding their first on the T side due to really good patience from them on the outside play. Are they going to hunt this? There's no way. Okay, good. Okay, we see a wall of smokes outside. Beautifully done. One's able to slink into this position here. Second on top. The boost onto red bin gets the kill towards back gray. That's a pretty straight line for a pull. And then they fake the lower pressure. This forces one to just sit down in lower. He couldn't do anything about it. He had to just play his position. While the rest of Wildcard Academy slowly choke out the A site defense and find a first on the board. Oh no, the money on the CT side doesn't look great at all. Tom going to be seconded to a Desert Eagle. I'm sure he can sell that, get himself MP9 armor instead. Here we go. Gets MP9 dropped from his teammate Tudson. So pretty good buy, all things considered, for the old boys. And Wildcard Academy should be reading this. Let's see. Definitely should be reading this. Molotov outside, indication that it is going to be purchase going through this round. Tom getting burned off the hut. Information passed, a little burny of his toes. Information passed via sound, and now Rowland trying to hold off the outside fight. He knows they like to push through. He hears the mantle off of T roof. And a little bit of an ugly spray through the outside smoke. Gives him a little bit of information. Donnie takes some damage for his troubles. But Wildcard Academy kind of just stuck. They do have one down in secret. You can see the rotate of Mihu and the rotate from the ramp position of Tudson, which is usually the opera to take the ramp hold. But he ain't going to be gifted anything. The A-site hold about to be tested. They're setting up for the Molotovs and the util on T roof, and they're going to execute on A-site probably in the next 5 seconds. Here it comes. Molotov top hut forces the defender off. Can't stand there. Molly into Mini, or smoke into Mini. Indication that it might not be an A hit. Instead, MHL drops Tudson towards ramp. Barrel now spotted. Mihu's got a big job to do. He should be able to capitalize on a few. Finds the first, swings for the next, gets it. But Asalem too quick with it. And now into a 3-on-3. 35 seconds to go. Bomb down into lower. Smoke onto single door. And as this door opens up, that's information passed over. Late smoke from Rowland. Beautifully placed. And the hut push from Tom even better. Finds himself an AK-47. And now they just have to deal with these last two of the Wildcard Academy to put a fourth on the board. But Donnie too quick with it. Tries to get himself down vents, but finds death instead. And now the bomb plant coming in. Asalem, one kill to his name already in a 1v2. Here's the footsteps of the first. The vent mantle down from Tom. Gives him information. Both these members coming from the single door. Let's get with Asalem here. AK-47 primed and ready. The double swing coming in from the CTs. Oh, we can't capitalize on the first. Goofy holding the right side of the nuclear reactor. Puts him down, and a fourth on the board for the old boys. CT campaign still trucking along. Op, a couple of pieces util to even be saved. Goofy saying, come and get this grenade, my friend. Picks up the Dragon Lore instead. A skins demon himself. 4 on the board. A little tech timeout coming in. Probably figure out who's dropped from the game. Maybe multiple. Wildcard Academy are going to watch this back and realize how much of a good chance they had to execute onto the A site. CTs had one on ramp. They had one realistically outside and one deep down and lower. And there was 4 Wildcard Academy players right here. Utility landed top hut, burning the player out, forcing him onto site. And they were both right here. Smoke blocked here. Flashes came in. They were both blind. The double pinch could have been beautiful. But they select to go towards the ramp, and Mihu, too powerful, finds himself too. Mihu, doesn't matter. Tech timeout should be resolved here shortly. I see purchases from everybody. I hear some pitter patter in the chat. R, wait, R. So wait or R? Wait, XD. If you are just joining, this is a best of 5 for the ESEA Advanced Season 55 European Grand Finals between Old Boys and Wildcard Academy. Old Boys winning the first 2 maps, 13-11, which was overpass Wildcard Academy's pick. Maybe a little bit of a awkward pick from them. It didn't seem like they were ready for their T side. Their utility was thrown from awkward positions a little bit late, and Old Boys were able to play up into their face. And then we moved over to Mirage, and Old Boys essentially dominated through and through 6-6 half. Switch over to their CT side, and they dominate to finish 13-8. And now we're back on the Wildcard Academy's map pick. They are on Nuke. And if you're wondering, hey, Mr. Henry Batt, you've only mentioned 2 maps. How does Wildcard Academy have a map victory? Well, they walked their way through the upper bracket of ESEA Advanced Playoffs, finding themselves in the finals as the upper seed. So they get a map to the good to start this, but Old Boys said, we do not care. You may have beat us in the upper bracket finals, but we're back with a vengeance, and a vengeance they are. 4-1 on the CT side of Nuke, as expected so far. Wildcard Academy have found some space. They've been able to get themselves onto the A site a few times, but maybe a little bit of miscommunication or a haphazard understanding of what's happening, and they fall short. Maybe a faster A execute on the cards right now. They have to wait for this secret or the squeaky door fade, but it doesn't matter. Tom sprays into Mini, finds himself the first, or the Hut finds himself the first. Goofy's responds, but as the smoke lands in Mini, he waits for the push. The outside swing is not good. Donnie gets dropped. The Tech 9 sprays, but it does not matter. The rotate from Tudson and Rowland closed the gap and put a 5th on the board, putting Wildcard Academy on the back foot. And again, you can see it. Op posted at ramp. Second player jump spotting, waiting to get down into lower, playing back and forth. As soon as the utility lands here, the flashes come through, the bounce flash off the wall. That rotate comes in quickly. They have 2 on the site, a 3rd in heaven with that 4th rotating in. It was done and dusted. Great protocols from the Old Boys to hold back the Wildcard Academy. A site execute. Round 7. A couple AKs on the CT side. Going to build their economy up slowly. It is climbing ever so steadily. But they are only 1, possibly 2 rounds away from being fully reset. Wildcard Academy need to take advantage of this sooner rather than later before this half gets out of your control. Different wall of smokes this time. You can see the cross. That'll show up here shortly, but not here to see it because I reset. Cool set of smokes being deployed outside with the second wave of utility from the Wildcard Academy side, and they're wrapping towards hell. 2 CTs down and lower, and they're going to be kind of taken away from this fight. This is Tudson's job to deal with the decomposition, the heaven rotate, but he's got 2 sides to fight from. And they're already mantling up into heaven. Goofy's pressured from 2 different locations now. He's got to get himself down from here or fight up into heaven, because if he doesn't, that mini wrap can come in real quick. Rowland deals with the first towards squeaky door. Now what can get done? Rowland or Goofy finds the first. Break control of the second is beautiful. Switches to the secondary. The wrap from Mini coming in. MHL's position now noted. Breaks the window as the ladder erupts as well. It's a good hold on the A site. Goofies, I said you needed to get down, but you proved me wrong. Find yourself a triple. You realize you're up against the lesser weaponry, and that's 6 on the board for the Old Boys. Beautifully done. And what can the change of pace be here for Wildcard Academy? They're currently on the back foot. They lose their map pick. They lose Old Boys map pick. 2-1 in the series, first to 3. And if Wildcard want to do this, they have to do this now. Because up next is Train. And Train, well, that's Old Boys map pick. They played them during the regular season. And Old Boys beat Wildcard Academy 13-4 on Train. One of their better maps. We are on Nuke, though. The last time these two teams played, I assume Wildcard Academy started on the CT side. So it was a 13-3 shellacking. So this game is definitely not over. Wildcard Academy will get a chance to work their CT side. But if they only have one round to the good, it's going to be a very difficult CT side where you can't lose at all. Or overtime will be forced and you'll be on the back foot. But in round 8 we go. Tom the only one without the kit in this round. Might not come to fruition, but Pitter Patter traded back and forth. Information gained. Donnie can't control it. Goofy gets traded from Aslam, who is boosted up on that Twinkie position. And now Tom, pressuring Hut, finds himself the first. Gets himself out as well. So 4-on-3 early into this round. Oh, Sen, too quick through the squeaky door. Blows it open early. Finds himself beside the vent. Capitalizes on Tom, trying to mantle back up onto Hut, his preferred position. And now they work towards ramp. Tudson with the op. Primed and ready for it. Can he find the first? They're playing patient. There should be a flash to try to push him off the line, but they want to jiggle into this instead. And Tudson playing that close angle, the same one that Mihu played before. Maybe he wants to get aggressive on this, find a deeper, tighter angle. He has no support. It is a 3-on-3, and this is important. First pick. Yeah, oh, he does find the first. Readjusts onto Aslam. Can't find the second. MHL puts him down. Now they are going down into lower. Rollin, prime and ready for this. The pitter patter heard by Mihu. And these two experienced veterans talking to each other now, but ahead of them all he goes. Rollin finds the first clothesline send. And into a 1-on-2 goes Mihu, making a 1-on-1. Tags the first up, has a timing to get himself up towards Vents. Molly's to slow down the rotate, and he has timing to make it, but the smoke puts out the Molly. And now Rollin on his heels. Actually, doesn't even put out the Molly, he pushes through it. Bomb to be planted now into a 1-on-1 MHL. He's going to have to deal with this fast push up the vent, but it's not good enough. Rollin puts him down in a 7th on the board for the Old Boys. And a lot of BM coming in here. Good work from Rollin, even though you fumbled the smoke in lower. Beautifully done. Old Boys to put a 7th on the board, and he's going to collect the op from ramp. He's got the kid on his back, so it's all good to go, but he's feeling pressure from that bomb. He's got to go back, get that defuse. And he says, we got money, dude. Let me keep the AK-47. Oh, no. Old Boys in the driver's seat, spamming the body. Yikes. Wildcard Academy. Get a bomb plant, 3,400 loss bonus. They'll be able to purchase into the next. Oh, I love it. The purchase ASMR. We can listen to the T-side purchase as well. Attack timeout coming in. Second being used for the T side. Wildcard Academy realistically only need 3. They're running out of chances. I love it. But they did find success wrapping A site. They had to get the opening kill towards Rollin outside, who hasn't been giving any kind of information over anymore. He died towards back gray from the mini push, which opened up an A site wrap. If Wildcard Academy can do that again, find themselves a second, they can start getting a little bit of momentum moving on their side. Because if not, Old Boys close this out 11-1 on the half. That T-side pistol is strong. I don't care how strong Wildcard Academy are. They'd have to do it 12 in a row on their CT side. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Chunky nade outside. Donnie's been getting rocked by these nades all game, especially over on Mirage as well. Preemptive smoke pop from Goofy's. Awkward time to pop the smoke and throw a molly. I feel like that was a little bit of an awkward transition by him. Could have got caught out, but finds the first. Gets a second one towards Mini Hut as well. Aslam mantling down. Information gained. Goofy's capitalizes. And now Tom asking for a little bit of support to clear out the squeaky door. Through the edge of the squeaky door goes Sen. Tom deals with it. The support was there from Goofy. And now left alone with a minute on the clock in a 2-on-5 MHL and Tripex, Tripix, however you want to say his name. I don't know what they can get done here. This looks like an 8th on the board for Old Boys. And again, a good setup from them. I don't really like the way Goofy's popped open that smoke, but it doesn't matter. He still finds himself too. And a clean kill from MHL opens up the ramp fight. Tom getting all that information saying, are they? Aren't they? There's still one in hell. Lower potentially being held right now. It is being held by Rollin. He's in the strawless position. This is very difficult for him to hold, easy to be cleared out, but the deeper angle he holds, the more chances he gets that opening fight. Trades effective in lobby, though. MHL can't handle it, and the pressure from Old Boys puts an 8th on the board. What can get done? What can get done? Nothing. Wildcard Academy back to the drawing board. They have to do a little half purchase here. Solo AK, maybe a Galil being purchased by MHL, and he's going all in this. He wants the utility to fight in the post, or the rifle to fight in the post, and this is probably just going to be an A-site execute. I wouldn't be surprised to see Molly top hut, smoke, Molly back sight, Molly far side sight, flashes, 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 and an execute onto the site. And that's exactly what they're doing. Molly's and smokes and flashes to be landing on the site, and the CTs overwhelm the middle. Immediately Aslam with the first kill. They're still fighting back site. The smoke preemptively dropped by the CTs to defend. Not good enough. The wrap from Himini coming in too, and Rowland overtaken, and the A site under wraps. Tees, great round from them. Quick execute onto the A site. Utility lands pretty much where I wanted it to. A little bit of a missed smoke here. You can see it on the mini map. Gave an advantage to the Old Boys defending, but it doesn't matter. Wildcard Academy put a 2nd on the board, and a beautiful change of pace by them on the low purchase. But Old Boys, they got money in the bank. Wildcard Academy could break them right here and find themselves a 4th, but they have to find round 11 to put a 3rd in their bank first. Let's see what they can get done. They're probably going to fake this little bit of an A rush to pull the rotates outside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them do it again with AKs. That would be cream. Let's go, boys. Smoke plumes. Rowland finds the first outside through the edge of the smoke right before it plumes onto Aslam as he tries. Oh no, he tried to fall over top of Squeaky, or over top of Twinkie to get himself onto Mini quicker. But it doesn't work out for him, and into a 5-on-3 we go. Tom finds one. Rowland gets a 2nd one, and this is a 9th on the board for the Old Boys. Wildcard Academy stumble at the door, but they do find themselves a 2nd so far on their T side with 1 chance to go. And if they want any success in the next, MHL needs to save. Sen needs to save. If MHL saves, he can drop 1 and a Galil in the next. Is my math good? 27, 37. Yeah, he can drop 1 and a Galil in the next. But it looks like they're still going to try to fight for this. They molly single vent. They smoke Squeaky Door to indicate that they want to go down and lower. But look at this. Tudson, you greasy boy. Sitting in the vent. He's strong as ever from that mini position. A spam from Rollin to find himself a 3rd in the round, and a 9th on the board from the Old Boys, who are in a commanding lead on Nuke, but they know it's not over. They got to stay focused. If they can get 9 as easy as we're seeing them get 9, Wildcard Academy can do the exact same. But now the purchase does come back in. MHL gets himself the op. Teammates on less than ideal weaponry and not a ton of utility. They can deploy the wall of smokes. But where's he going to take this fight? Beautiful off the rip smoke to block off Squeaky Door. This could be a chance for them to get down into vents early, and they're going for it, but the chase is good. Goofy's fine, sends a nade from Rollin on MHL. Rollin finds himself a 2nd one of that op immediately into the dirt, and a 5-on-2 commences. 500 HP for the CTs. They spot both outside as that boost comes into play. Rollin swings at the AK to put down Trip, knowing he's picked up the op, and he's not the common opper, and he's hunting for blood. Tudson puts him down, and a 10th on the board for the Old Boys as they switch over to the T side of Wildcard Academy's map pick. Oh, if Old Boys win this, they need 3 rounds. If they get those 3, they are the ESEA Advanced Champs for Season 55. Wildcard Academy shaking in their boots. Tripex drops Dooley's over to his teammate, picks up a Molotov. What's the play here? Deep breath, 1 and 12. Oh no, you got to get activated here. We saw him on overpass with 2 kills, clutches a 1v3 to put himself up to 5, and then he does extremely well on Mirage. But moving over to Nuke, he ain't having such a hot start. Molotov in hand, backside player, and a 4-stack onto the A site. Maybe a little bit of a read from the Wildcard Academy side, but the rest of the team from Old Boys just waiting for a push. They're saying get greedy, get aggressive, try to walk into a send with Dooley's on ramp. Smokes to go outside, and this looks like a hell wrap, so MHL primed and ready for this. Flashes come in, but it's not enough to get him off the line. And we have a tiny little gap to cross. Oh, Mew opens up with MHL, lets him break the glass first and puts him down, but now the rotates aren't going to be quick enough. They're going to be down lower early. This is Sen to deal with it, but Patter hurt. He breaks the control window room, but he's pressured from two sides. The Doolies ring out, but no good kills. Aslam finds himself one, and into a 4-on-3 we go. T's have a chance to rotate back up to the A site. Double door swing. Aslam finds himself one, but now they got to move into the waiting arms of Tripex. They're not going to go up the vents. This is a 3-on-3, 45 seconds on the clock. Lots of time to work for the old boys. They have positions noted on at least two. Aslam towards double doors here. This will be a double swing. Maybe close the door and swing behind it. There it goes. Perfectly done. Tunson finds himself both and left alone into a 1-on-3 Tripex. We've seen him here before. We need massive impact from you, but he can't get it done. Relin puts an 11th on the board. And now 2 rounds away from a clean 3-map sweep. Old boys could take it right now in Wildcard Academy. Head in hands, wondering how the fuck they got to this location. Oh, this is not the same song and dance that we're used to. Wildcard Academy, take a deep breath. It's not over till it's over. 13 is the hardest number to get. Good boys, though, win this round, and you're in the driver's seat. Force does come in from Wildcard Academy. They must. They must. They cannot play for overtime. They cannot do it. Early utility's good. Donnie getting chunked down to 55. Aslan trying to push through the smoke, but he has support. This is an outside push from the rest of the T side. Rowland spamming through the smoke, finds one. The MAC-10 rings out for another. Tunson and Goofy's capitalize on those. MHL does get one, but traded back. And now Sen left alone, down and lower. He's the rotate player. The A-site player finding himself left alone. MP9 with a sweet ROP sticker on it. The broken heart. Head spotted, dealt with. Rowland puts him down. 16 to his name and 12 on the board. And this looks like it's done and dusted. Wildcard Academy came into this top seed. They played Old Boys, like I said, in the upper bracket finals to find themselves here, and they dumped on them. 13-7 on Ancient, 13-3 on Nuke. Wildcard Academy came into this. This is our map. Rubbing their hands, saying, no stress. We're about to win advance. But Old Boys come back with a 13-11 on Overpass. Wildcard Academy's map pick. 13-8 on Mirage. Old Boys map pick. And now a dominating score line so far for the Old Boys, and they just have one more round to collect, and with 10 chances to do it. Wildcard Academy have to be flawless. They need 14 in a row to win this game. Outside posture being displayed. MHL trying to do his best job. Amsalem loses his life early, trying to push that secret position. MHL does get a good tag, spots the second one on top of Mini Roof. And now Donnie mantling off of Hut. Looks like he wants to get aggressive into lobby, but it's just a 5-7 going off. It's the AK-47. Rowland finds the first. MP9 closes the gap and finds the kill, but now Sen and Donnie left alone in a 2-on-4. And they are overwhelmed. Spam into Mini, pop of the smoke. An indication of where a couple of these Old Boys players are, but Sen might find a timing here. Donnie gets dropped. A little bit of BM in the chat. GG, well played. No faith in Sen's ability to 1v4. He does spot the first, but the range of the MP9 ain't going to work for him. Quick look back. That is the bomb rotating in. And I don't like this at all. You're on the winning side and you're saying that. It's still fucking rude. Let Sen have a chance here. Picks up an AK-47. Finds the first. Avoids most of the damage from the nade, but now the position noted. And he's about to get dealt with. Sen, you can do this. Deep breath. If I could be your hero, baby. Pops the head of the first towards squeaky door. Swings to find a second. Can't get it done. Miu puts it down 13-2. Old Boys clean sweep of Wildcard Academy to take the championship of ESEA Advanced Season 55. They win 13-11 on Overpass, 13-8 on Mirage, and then a dominating statement piece, 13-3. And Old Boys are your ESEA Advanced Season 55 champions. My name is Mr. Henry Batt. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'll be back for more. Enjoy your night. Stay safe. Counter-Strike is life.